talk about the Harlem Globetrotters, doing gymnastics, being a coach, along with the powers of the mind, and being out on our own for the first time. I really enjoyed my conversation with my friend Zach, and I hope to have him on another episode in the near future. If you guys want to check him out on social and learn about tumbling or his experience with the Harlem Globetrotters, his contact information will be down below. He's very well educated, very wise man. And then also subscribe to the channel as I release 2 new podcasts every week. And I don't want you guys missing out on any future episodes.
I actually have a question for you.
Yeah.
Like, what have you been up to, like, technically, you know what I mean? Like, I've seen you've been doing things, and you've been doing a lot of hiking and podcasting. I saw that.
Yeah, dude, this is a crazy thing. So I was doing sales for the past 2 years, because I needed to get out of my mom's house after, like, we were talking about COVID and everything like that.
Right.
And I was just, I did not enjoy being at home any longer. I was like, all right, I need to, like, work my ass off to get back out on my own, get back up on my 2 feet.
Right.
So I started doing sales to prove to myself that I could start, like, sell things on my own. And I did that for 2 years. And then I recently quit my job back in, mid-October or something like that.
Nice.
Because I lost respect for the company that I was working for. Loved them, like, they promoted me and, like, they did all these great things for me.
Right.
It wasn't fulfilling me in the ways that I wanted to be fulfilled.
I feel you.
So I ended up leaving. It was a 6-figure job, and then I was like, all right, I'm going to go do my own thing. I'm going to start podcasting. I'm going to just kind of let, like, God, faith take control. Like, I have no idea what's going to happen tomorrow, none of us do.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, that's all I've really been doing. And when I go out and do the hikes thing, dude, it's my way of reflecting because, like, the trees, they don't judge.
Right.
So, like, I can be out there, I can cry, I can scream, I can yell, I can feel whatever I want to feel out there, and nobody's going to, like, judge me for it.
100% of the emotion, yeah.
Exactly. Whereas, like, in today's day and world, I feel like it's us as men, like, we can't express our emotions all that much.
It's true.
So that's why I like going out there because, like, I can leave everything with the trees. I can leave everything out in nature. Like, I don't have to worry
Zay
about
does that
anything.
all the time. He'll go up by himself. He goes to the redwood forest, bro. I'm so jealous. Like, he sends me pictures of, like, these fat fucking trees that have been there for, like, 1,000 years, bro. That's crazy. But I've wanted to get more into hiking, but I'm lazy and I also do a lot. You know what I mean? So, like for example, last night I went and trained for 2 hours and, like, actually tumbled. I'm sore today. Like, if I went hiking today, it would be sad. But yeah, I want to do, like, a 14er and, like, camp at the top. That's what Zay does.
Mm-hmm.
I'm jealous.
Yeah, you and I could do that because I've had ideas too where it's like do a walking podcast or something like that, like out on a hike type of thing.
I mean, isn't that like when they do, like, those hunting in, like, I guess you could call it a podcast where, like, they have a dude follow them and they go talk and hunt, you know what I mean? And then they show the kill and do all the things. I've seen a couple of those. That's what it kind of, like, reminds me of.
I think it could be similar to that. I'm not entirely sure because the guy that's popping in my head is Cam Haynes. I don't know if you've heard of him at all or not.
Yeah, I've heard of him. I think it was Ranella.
I'm not
Steve
familiar.
Ranella.
Okay.
But
yeah,
he's the same kind of dude.
Okay. Yeah, I think it'd be fun, dude, because, like, and if you ever want to come hiking with me, like, happy to have you with me, man.
I was about to bring my dog, but I didn't feel like having to deal with her on top of everything else.
No, you totally could have, man.
I should have.
You should have.
Tied her to that tree or just let her run out.
Yeah.
Just a little pity, though, so some people get judgmental.
Why is that? I've always tried to understand that.
Just because they were literally built to fight. Like, we bred that dog to fight, to be a monster.
Yeah.
So, yes, it is scary, but she's only, like, a little 50-pounder. Like, she's rescue, so she's, like, really timid. Like, when I first got her, it gets too excited and she would pee on the floor and then she would feel bad, so she'd put her head down and then like she's a mess. You know what I mean? She's better now, but she still, if she gets excited, she stops listening. And then usually if she sees another dog, she gets excited and runs up really fast and stops and sniffs. You know what I mean? And that freaks out other dogs and other dog owners when the dog is running up to it. So I understand, but yeah, I should have brought her.
Yeah, you should have. Did you train her yourself then as a puppy type of thing, or?
No, I got her when she was already 2.
Okay.
So she's maybe 3 now.
Yeah.
And she knows, like, sit, come here, lay down. She's really good with stay, actually.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, there's nothing I've taught that dog. I've taught her down because she jumped up a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Now I can do this and she'll jump up, but if she gets excited, she'll jump and I can be like, down, and then she'll sit. But I kind of have to, like, I feel bad because, like, I raise my voice or deepen my voice and then she, like, literally cowers and, like, sometimes shivers. And I don't even have to hit her.
Really?
I can just yell at her and she'll, like, be emotionally damaged. I drilled my fucking trash can into the wall up high because she kept getting into the trash. And then when I come home, she would know that she's going to get in trouble, so she'd be mad at me all day. You know what I mean? Like, she wouldn't come down and chill with me. She won't sleep with me because she got into the trash. And she did, like, thinks I hate her or something. And I have to, like, literally pet her for, like, 35 minutes and tell her it's okay. And then she'll, like, get all hyper again and start running around. I'm like, God, you're a fucking mess.
What made you want to get the dog in the first place?
My homie moved to Ohio for a job, and they have a pit bull ban. So he was going to give her back to the pound. And I was like, just give her to me. I'll take care of her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds like she's making a little bit of like joy in your life type of thing.
No, I definitely like her. She's a good dog, and she's good with the kids because my homie had kids when he had her, so now it's like she's already used to having kids, and they all love her. So my nieces love her.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Because people always have that, I feel like, misperceived notion that dogs are just like.
Well, I feel it because some dogs are very unexpected and like unpredictable. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I feel like you can get the gist of a dog like within the first 5 minutes. You know what I mean? You can be like, okay, this thing is not going to hurt anybody. You know what I mean? Or this thing's a little scary. I'm gonna keep my distance. You know what I mean?
That's so true. Did you have dogs before you grew up then as well too, or is?
Yeah, we had a Border Collie Lab and a Burmese Mountain Dog German Shepherd.
Nice.
And they passed away like right before we got this dog, so it was like perfect timing for that too. So
yeah.
Now we get a new fucking crazy ass instead of our old old dogs that couldn't even like play catch.
Dude, I love dogs. I absolutely love them, but it's like I just don't have the responsibility or the time to take care of one.
Yeah.
And train it that I want to train it. Like I was over at this girl's house that I was telling you just before we started too, and she has a golden retriever, and like
those dogs are sweet.
Dude, I had a golden retriever as a kid too, and I loved it. She was my best friend type of thing. It's like dogs; they love you no matter what.
Exactly.
Like, there's no question, there's no hesitation.
And
like,
they don't lie.
No, they don't.
Yeah.
There's no sabotage. Like dogs have no ulterior motive.
Yeah.
So,
I feel that.
like, I was at her place, and I was just laying in bed, like doing this like normal like daily vlog video thing that I do at the end of the days type of thing.
Yeah.
And the dog's just chilling with me, like laying with me and everything like that. And dude, it was weird, man. Like it felt like my old like golden retriever came through the other golden retriever, and I was just like, oh, I'm so sorry. Like just started grieving and everything like that. Gotta love those spiders, man.
I know.
So yeah, it's like dogs. They just make me. I don't want to have a dog because I feel so sad once they're gone. But they bring me so much joy while they're around.
That's what I was going through too. I actually had a cat that I had for 21 years. She was a savage. We found her, or my friend found her in an alley and was like, I can't keep this cat. Do you guys want it? And I was like, I'll take it. So like, pretty much it was a feral cat that we like tamed, you know what I mean? So she was an indoor-outdoor cat. We kept her inside for I think it's like 6 months or something like that, and then they established dominance over that territory, so whenever they leave, they'll come back to that spot, you know what I mean? But she was crazy, bro. Like, I remember there's one time I didn't see her for like 2 weeks, and I was like, Coyote's got her, like, she's done for, you know what I mean? And then I came home from work, I woke up in the morning, and I opened my eyes and look at the bottom of my bed, and she's sleeping at the foot of my bed, and I was like, she's here. She's not dead. But yeah, she's crazy. And then another time I like grabbed her and picked her up, and she freaked out, and blood squirted out of her back hip and like shot onto the wall, and she like ran away, and I was like, oh my God, she got in a fight. You know what I mean? Like, she's just a crazy ass cat. She would play catch. Like, I had a little bouncy ball, and I could throw it, and she would go get it and bring it back to me. And then I found out that like, this is before I ever had a phone. Otherwise, I would have it on video, bro. It was so cool. So like, the wall's like this, and I would shoot the ball at the ground, and then it'd hit the wall and bounce up in an arc, and she would see it, jump, catch it, do a backflip, and come down with it in her mouth. Bro. And I was like, bro, this cat is fucking beast. She was like the best cat ever. But yeah, when she died, I was real sad, bro.
You trained that?
I guess technically,
a little bit,
because like I kept doing it, and she kept watching it and watching it and watching it, and then I would like do it a little bit higher so she'd have more time, you know what I mean? And then she started jumping towards it, and then once she figured out that she can grab it and do the flip part, that was like just what she did every single time. It was really sweet.
Dude, that's awesome. Cats, I saw a cat walking around my apartment complex the other day, and it was like on a leash, and I was like, how'd you train your cat to walk on a leash? And it was just practice type of thing.
Yeah, they get used to it. It's like conditioning.
Exactly.
Pavlov's dogs or cats.
So you want to hear something kind of maybe a little crazy then? Like, do you think humans can also be conditioned in the same way as like Pavlov's dogs?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So it's just
That's
like
how America is, bro. It's like why do you think certain people live by the news? They're like, oh no, it's on the news, so it's real. Like, No,
You know.
they could do whatever they want, bro.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
That's why, like, we've been conditioned to think that things are so true and difficult, and like we have
Oh,
to
yeah.
live the world in this set means. But it's like, well, what if that's not the case?
I think like one of the biggest conditioning factors that America has done to like people is like they'll accept what they hear.
Mhm.
They'll never rebel against and things that are said and test the waters and find out for themselves. You know what I mean? They're just so easily like, oh yeah, that's how it is. Okay, and then that's it. You know what I mean? Like that is not how I live my life, bro. Like you tell me something, I'll be like, okay, but then I'm gonna talk about it, research it, look into it. Like if I'm really interested in it, you know what I mean? I'm not just gonna be like, oh yeah, that's what it is now. And I think like Americans are really bad at that.
Yeah. Well, it's like a critical thinking.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
we were just never taught how to think critically.
Joe Rogan was saying like that's what they should teach in schools. That is like that would make people so much smarter if they just knew how to think for themselves
Mm-hmm.
instead of always having to look somebody to look to and something to look at. And this is like do it yourself. That's way better.
Which, how'd you get to your ability to think critically? Because like I know how I've gotten to my way, and
I guess I've never really thought about that. I think it was because I was so open and accepting to everybody when I was growing up. Like, I would give everybody a clean slate and be like, everybody's good, you know what I mean? But then once I started getting, like, fucked over and hurt, and then I was like, okay, maybe I should have that attitude, but not actually, accept it, you know what I mean? Or trust or anything like that. So now, like, I'll try to, but I definitely do my own thing.
yeah, I feel like that's a better way. Zach Vulcan.
What up? Hey, man. Zach, nice to meet you.
I did gymnastics with this guy for a couple of years, so yeah, dude. We're just, I figure you can set up wherever you want to set up, type of thing, and then I'll just splice everything together.
Probably just try to get the sun.
Yeah, that thing's beaming right
Yeah,
now.
I know. If we need
pretty
to move
nice
in the,
out.
if we need to move in the shade, I'm happy to move us over,
Cool.
type of thing. Dude, yeah, no, the whole conditioning thing, because I was always curious about that, because I've always taken it as like a clean slate myself as well too,
Yeah.
to where it's just like, all right, everybody's good until proven otherwise. Type
That's
of
how I
thing.
live now, yeah. I give you like 2 strikes.
Exactly.
Not 3, I give you 2. One's like, okay, this guy's a little sketchy, you know what I mean? And if it happens again, I'm like, all right, fuck you.
Yep, basically. I'm like, as soon as I lose respect for somebody, or like they'll talk behind my back, or they lie to me, I'm just like, all right, I'm
Yeah.
done. I'm like, if you don't have the balls to come up and tell me you have a problem, I'm like,
That's another thing that like a lot of people do is like they'll say one thing to your face, but then when they're in a different place, they don't act like that. But they'll reflect back to it every time they see you. You know what I mean? And try to like hide it almost. But it's like, bro, I know what you're doing. Relax.
yeah, I feel like it's like, since we're older, like it's easier for us to see, because I feel like we've done it so many
We
times.
went through it exactly.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But like if you've never gone through it, it's like, how do you pick up on that? Because when I first started,
Right.
I was like, I got screwed over so many times, because I've always just been like a giver. I'll just be like, here, I'll
Right.
give type of thing. And some people take advantage of that, which
I remember one time I was at Woodward, so I wasn't really thinking about it, but this dude kept hitting me up every day for like a week, being like, yo, things are hard, like, could I get $50 for this or $20 for that? And I was like, I'll pay you back, you know what I mean? And I was like, yeah, I got you, bro. Like, I trust you. I've seen you once before. You're a dope tumbler, you know what I mean? And I gave him like $200 over the course of a week. And then I was like, so when do you think you could pay me back? He's like, oh, I'll pay you back. And then after I hit like 250, I was like, all right, I'm not gonna pay you anymore until you actually like give me something back. And then he never gave me anything.
yeah, dude, I've never been the, like, if somebody asks me for money, I'm like, nah, like that's just
That's how it should be. That's a weird subject.
no, but I mean, I think it's an interesting subject, to say the least, because like you're doing it because you want to help that other person out.
Right, you feel like you're doing a good deed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because
and you're not hurting right now, so why not give? Yeah.
exactly. It's just like, but when it's give, because at that point it's almost like they become reliant on you at that
Exactly,
point in time,
yeah.
and they don't figure it out
They
themselves.
expect it.
Exactly. It's like, all right, well, Zach helped me out beforehand, so
Right.
he'll help
If
me
I
out
get
again.
in a bind, he got me. You know what I
Exactly.
mean?
And I've just never been a fan of that whole thing.
Yeah.
Like I've helped out one buddy before where he asked for cash, and I was like, okay, cool. But then I was talking with, because he was asking all my other friends too, like for cash too, and I was just like,
Right.
dude, like, are you struggling? Like, what's going on? Like, I'll help you. Like, let's talk about it. And never wanted to talk about like what was happening. And I was like, all right, well, that kind of puts us in a hard spot.
Have you heard of people who do like a GoFundMe and like say they're in the hospital or something?
No.
And they're not.
That's a thing?
Yeah, I saw it
Dude.
like 2 or 3 times. People getting upset because they had like a GoFundMe and they were in a car accident or something like that. But in reality, they only tweaked their neck. But they put the GoFundMe like they're in the hospital and they have bills to pay. You know what I mean? And then people give them thousands of dollars. That's so scammy.
What? Like this is like these are things that I don't understand. Like I've never been a part of that ecosystem, so I just never
my
understood
brain doesn't
that.
work that way.
No, because I'm like, there's got to be something, and maybe you've never thought about this, but like, is there something within somebody's mind that is like, all right, I'm trying to scam somebody out of some money right now, type of thing?
Or do you think it like, do they get an adrenaline rush? You know what I mean? Like I get adrenaline rushes from like physical things, like do a front flip over that rock.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
All right.
You know what I mean? Yeah. But maybe like people get that kind of feeling from like, go steal $200 from that person and make them think that they got something. They like got something out of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they get that adrenaline feeling. Maybe I have no idea. But
That's actually good.
there's got to be like a driving reason for them wanting to do it. You know what I mean? Other than money, I guess, of course. But
Yeah.
I don't know. Because like I only do the things that I chase that adrenaline. You know what I mean? So I try to do those things. So maybe that's a way that they get adrenaline.
So I've done those things as well, like going on hikes or bike rides or like runs or whatever it is. Like that's how I get the adrenaline stuff.
Yeah.
But like, and kind of in reference to that too. Like I know you were telling me that you were working like you did stuff with the Globetrotters as well for a little while. Was that to like get like?
That's pure adrenaline, bro. When there's 2,000 people yelling and looking at you, bro, you could feel like you could fly out of the arena. Just like I remember the one time I was doing a Nuggets performance, and I don't know why, but I did a back extension on the floor, but I forgot that it's not carpeted. So like I threw my elbows back and I cracked this top bone of my elbow so hard that I felt like it like bent.
Oh.
And like I remember going like this, feeling it, being like, that's not right. And then just running and doing another tumbling pass because we still had 2 minutes to perform, you know what I mean? So like I did that whole performance, like probably I think fractured my elbow and just tumbled anyways because I had the adrenaline and I didn't want people to be like wondering what's wrong, you know what I mean? I wanted them to be happy and get like the adrenaline too. So I just like, you can like push through injury and it's not good.
That's the cool thing about the human mind is we can go so much further than we think we can.
Right.
Cause yeah, dude, that's insane. So like, was it ever actually fractured then, or was it just?
I don't know. It still has a little bump there. It doesn't feel like this other side. Like this one has 2 knuckles, if you know what I mean. This one has 1.
Shit.
And I never go to the doctor. I probably should. I think that's one thing I'm going to do when I'm 30 is actually go to the doctor and get like a full checkup and let them be like, you've got 3 weeks to live. You know what I mean?
So yeah, bet. All right.
Gotcha.
No, we'll go 3 more years, 30 more years, 60.
Yeah.
You know.
Because last time I went to the doctor, I was probably 18. Because that was when I fractured my collarbone and I fucked up my ankle. And I went to get an MRI on my ankle, and I was like, can you look at my collarbone? Because, like, I broke it, I think, a while back. And they were like, yeah, it's broken. Do you want to fix it? And I was like, sure. They were like, all right, let's re-break it and put it in a sling for 9 months. And I was like, never mind.
Oh.
I will deal with this.
So they're going to have to re-break your collarbone just to have it?
Like, it's just a hairline fracture, so it went like that. So, like, this one pops out a little bit more, so they'd have to just break it and then reset it. But it works fine. It doesn't ever give me problems, so
well, that's good.
Why would I fix it?
Yeah, exactly. I was always amazed, like, when we did gymnastics, that you, like, never broke anything. Like,
I was too, bro. Everybody broke something except for me.
Right?
Except for that one collarbone, but that was like when I was 18. So
I feel you there. Do you have the mics as well, too, by any chance? Did you bring those? I wanted to use those just in case because, like, then it'll at least pick it up a little bit better. If you don't mind. Otherwise, yeah, I like having 2 sources of audio. You learn that doing these things. Like, it's always good to have a backup.
Right.
In case one doesn't go through or one does.
That makes sense.
I assume those mics would be way better quality.
They are, but it's also like I used the GoPro last time we filmed a podcast recently, and like we did like I had the GoPro audio going plus like his audio stuff too. But yeah, dude, like I don't like you when Eric broke his leg after doing Giants that one time. Like that, I was like, all right, yeah, no, I'm done. Like that was the point where I tapped out. I just couldn't do it anymore.
I think I have like a crazy person mentality because like I see people get hurt all the time and I'm like, I don't want that to happen, but I'm still gonna do it. You know what I mean? It's gonna happen inevitably one day. You know what I mean? But I just feel like I'm trying to take the best repercussions I can to not have it happen.
Do you have your
Slip it onto your jacket
Yep.
or whatever you
Do you have the dead cat by any chance? You want to toss that on? This guy's fantastic at what he does. Like he sells himself short, and he doesn't sell himself short. He's getting started.
I feel like that's the way it should be, though. You know what I mean? Undersell yourself and overperform instead of saying I'm the best and then sucking. Then people are like, what the fuck?
And I am the best.
See?
But I'll do it for free.
I feel you.
Yeah, dude started out where I started out at like 18, 19, like the whole self-development like business and like trying to figure everything out, which I was like, I absolutely love that type of thing.
It's fun.
Yeah.
I also bought a second battery, so if you guys want to go on for like 4 hours, we can do it.
Sun's gonna go down before then.
Right,
type thing.
4 o'clock, bro. I get off at 5, so it's already dark when I get off.
And you probably start at 6, I'm
Yeah.
guessing. So it's just like
I'm up at 5:45. I leave at 5:45. It's dark. I work all day in a warehouse, so I have 2 little square windows in the ceiling that I get to look at the sky through. And then I guess when I open the garage door, I get to see the outside. But
yeah.
and then I get off work and it's dark, and then I drive home in the dark too. And I'm like,
It's rough, man. I thought they changed the laws this year, but apparently they didn't. So I did want to ask you though, like, you chase after the fear. Like when you see somebody break something, it's like, all right, like
it's not chasing the fear. It's I know that I'm gonna get that adrenaline and that satisfaction for doing things that are scary, because it's like natural to run away. So if you run towards it, it's like you feel the fire. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. I like that feeling. I'm adrenaline junkie for sure.
yeah.
Like I want to go skydiving. I want to do the wingsuit, bro. Like, oh my gosh, I forget what it's called. You know, with squirrel suit.
Yeah.
Yeah, like those videos are fucking crazy, bro. Like imagine that's like actually flying. That's the closest thing you can do to actually fly.
Right.
So yeah, I don't know.
Hey,
I'm a definite adrenaline junkie.
yeah.
But I won't do like spelunking or shit, like cave crawling. That, bro.
It just scares me. I don't know how people do it.
Or like when they're climbing, like me and Trevor like to climb like cranes and stuff like that, but like not like 30-story foot buildings like those crazy Russians are doing. Doing somersaults on the edge of a building. Like, nah, you could have that, bro. I will not do that.
No, which Vulcan too. If you ever want to chime in, man, you're more than welcome to. It doesn't just have to be like I like keeping everybody included with,
Right,
it,
for
with
sure.
the type of thing. I feel like it's fun. I enjoy it.
I agree. It keeps the vibe good.
Exactly. Because like so with you doing the adrenaline, have you ever skydived or done anything like that then at this point, or is it still
No,
nothing?
nothing.
No.
Yeah, nothing. Oh, I did the Stratosphere in Vegas.
I don't know what that is.
It's like a building like this, and at the top they have roller coasters. Yeah, and one of them is like this thing, like there's 2 things like this, and the top one moves, and it goes up and shoots you off the edge like this over and over, and then goes up and down like that. That shit was the scariest thing I think I've ever done. Me and CY, you remember CY?
I think so.
Me and CY, like the picture of us is like our veins are like bulging out of our things. We're like screaming, and like I think it was Jerry and CY's dad are in the seats behind us like this. Oh yeah! And I was like, bro, I almost shit myself. It was the craziest thing ever. And then they had another one where like the roller coaster starts in the middle, and then it comes out and wraps around on the outside and then comes back in at the end. I didn't get to do that one, but that one looks really fun. It was like $20 a ride.
Really?
Yeah, but CY's dad hit a jackpot in blackjack, so he went in with $50, went out with $750, bought everybody Blue Man Group tickets, and took everybody to the Stratosphere. I was like, bro, that dude is a real ass motherfucker. It was the dopest night ever.
Love that, dude.
Yeah.
You gamble at all then or no?
I like blackjack.
Yeah.
When I was on Globetrotters, we did a week long in Vegas and we were at the New Orleans. And bro, me and the DJ Def, we went every night. We would get off of the performance, get to the New Orleans, not even go up to our room, go straight to the poker tables, because then they give you free drinks if you're playing blackjack, and then just play until like 3 o'clock in the morning, and then be like, damn, we have to be up at 8, we should probably take a nap. And that whole week, bro, and I made like $400 just from sitting around, having fun, talking shit with Def and drinking and playing poker, or blackjack. And it was really fun. So yeah, I do like to gamble, but like I'm not a put it all on black 5 kind of guy.
Yeah.
I like to sit and chill and talk and play, you know what I mean?
Play a little bit because have you ever tried the? I don't know how much you probably know more blackjack than I do, but like you ever try to do like the whole counting thing, like the
counting
+1
cards.
+2 type of thing?
Now I feel like people think it's cheating, so I won't do it. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? If people didn't think it was cheating, and now it's like who can count cards better, then I would do it and get into it. But since they say it's cheating, I won't try it.
I get that.
Yeah.
That's the weird part because it's like the game's made for you to understand. Like
I know, yeah, like it could be a really like a chess game, but people aren't that smart. So, so it like now it's if you know how to do that, it's cheating. You know what I mean?
yeah, which that's where I'm always my questions is like, well, why do we have to go with the? I don't want to say dumbest person, but why do we have to go with like the person that isn't willing to put in the work type of thing? Like, why do we have to meet them there when it's like we have other people that could do those?
I feel like the reason is because like there's some people that actually can't. Like, they literally don't have a brain that can understand that, you know what I mean? So if we kind of say that that's the thing now that person can't play that game.
Yeah.
So now we're excluding people from normal people. So you have to go with the lowest person so that everybody can be included.
That is
so I
true.
understand that.
Yeah. But it's also just a game. Like,
maybe they should have leagues, you know what I mean? Like,
True.
There's a normal blackjack casino, and then there's like the blackjack league where everybody's counting cards and trying to win, you know what I mean?
Yep.
So like that would be a cool thing, I feel like.
because you get a whole bunch of card counters together. Who would be
Right.
the one that
Who would
wins?
win?
Yeah. And then all the card counters, they don't know each other and everything like that. That
Right,
would
or
be
maybe you have like multiple decks too, so now you have to you're counting, but you have to like know who can count best.
because you have two. You have two different decks playing
Yeah, so now you have
simultaneously.
8 of everything instead of 4. So when you see 1, you have to subtract 1 from 8 instead of from 4.
That'd be tough, dude.
That'd be kind of fun.
That would be very exciting to see. Because so I look at it the same way as like business and podcasts and like YouTube and like even gymnastics too. It's just like people that put in the time and the effort, like they are
yeah.
better at said thing because they have put in the time and the effort.
Now, if we're talking about like sports though, you also have to put in the thought of somebody's teaching this, like teaching it, you know what I mean? So as we get better and understand more, kids can get better earlier because we understand it. We know how to teach it. You know what I mean? Like if I knew how to tumble like I did now when I was younger, I would be amazing too, you know what I mean? But like people didn't know back then. Like we weren't that good yet. Like nobody was doing quads in the Olympics when I was growing up. It was maybe a triple. You know what I mean? Now we're trying to do quints. It's crazy.
5 flips at once?
Spins.
Oh,
one,
spins.
One flip,
Really?
5 spins, yes. I'm more of a twister. I'm not big on double flips.
Okay, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because I've seen you do. I can't even count when you do your spins. I
spin
try to
real
keep
fast
track. I
sometimes.
was like, dude, how does he do this?
Bro, the other day I was at a Snowbond, so it's like a ski and snowboard place, but they have super tramps. And I never really have done this before, but I kind of just hucked and ripped and held and did as hard as I could kind of thing. And I think I did a 3.5 in back out because I was going for 2, but I did 2 the second time again, and it was like way higher, way easier. And I was like, the first one I did, like I pulled and my head scraped the mat when I was pulling my feet around. You know what I mean? Like I barely made it, and I was doing it as hard as I could. And then when I did the second one, I didn't go as hard as I could, and I had plenty of air. So I had to have done 3.5 instead of 2.5 the first time. And like I couldn't even understand what was happening. Everybody's looking at it like, I think that's 3. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like it's so hard to feel. It happens so fast. But yeah, that shit was crazy, bro.
So two. You said 2 3.5s or something like that. What was the exact word that you said you used?
So the first time I did 3.5.
Okay.
The second time I did 2.5, and it was easy. So I had to have done 3.5 the first time.
Yeah.
But I was going for 2.5 when I did the 3.5. But I was just ripping and holding, you know what I mean? But if I compare the two, on the one where I ripped and held, I did an extra hip wiggle. And that usually means that's an extra spin when you're spinning that fast. But it was uncontrolled, so I could feel my body do that, you know what I mean? If it's controlled, it's all together. But it was like, oh, you know what I mean? So it was like weird, and I barely made it. It's like I had to have done 3.5 in. I've never done that before.
How do you get good at twisting? Like, because I tried twisting when I was doing gymnastics. Like, when I go on the tramp too, and I could barely, like, I know something was spotting the ground or something like that, but other than that, like, I've just never
It's more of the
understood that.
takeoff.
Okay.
So a twist adds flip. That's what people don't understand, and that's what fucks people up, because they'll do the full and over-rotate and fall on their back because they're not compensating for holding back for the twist. So as you twist more, you have to hold back more, actually. You still want to go up, but you don't want to flip. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's like when you're setting, you have to remember to lift it through the shoulders and twist this way, but you cannot drop the shoulder. When you drop the shoulder, that's when it starts going like that. So it's just like a really tedious kind of repetition thing for twisting.
Yeah.
Flipping, like you can understand, get big, get small, that generates momentum, you know what I mean? But like there's a lot more that goes in with twisting, because now you have to think of like how you're wrapping and what angle you're twisting in and stuff like that. I've done a lot of it, so like it's hard for me to explain it like to when I first started, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now I'm like just tweaking little things to try and get better, you know what I mean? I've done that for so long, it's like, how did I start? But yeah, started with a layout, you know what I mean? Arabian,
Yeah.
a half, and then as you understand it more, it just works better.
Right. Well, that's the crazy part. You do it for so long, and somebody's like, "Well, how'd you do this?" It's just like, well,
Right, like I don't think about it anymore, bro. I just do it.
it's like just do it. Just get on this twin, hold everything tight, spin.
I guess my best answer for when somebody says, "How do you do that?" I say 20 years of practice, and then they're like, "Okay."
All right.
And I'm like, "Yeah,
Yep.
pretty much. That's what it is."
Because yeah, dude, like that's impressive how you do your whole flips and everything like that. Like, is that how you got on with the Globetrotters? Was like you tried out for them? Or?
Actually, I sent them my Instagram, and because they were trying to do dunk squads, and I sent them my Instagram. Was like, "Hey, I'd love to try out," and they were like, "You're flying out on Wednesday," and I was like, "What?" Like literally, I sent them a message Sunday, and they flew me out Wednesday.
Really?
Yeah. I had to cancel all my jobs because it was like it's 4 months at a time, and then 1 month off, and then another month. So it's like 5 months out of the 12 you're on the road.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was crazy. I think it was January that I went out too. So it's the 3 month span. They did November to December, a tour, a little mini tour there for like warm up, and then break for Christmas and New Year's, and then January to April is straight touring. And we usually have like switch off. I did 2 west sides and 1.5 east side. So like the red group will go over to the west, blue group goes over to east, green goes out of country, so they'll be in like Australia and shit like that. It's never cool.
You didn't get to go on the green group then?
No, there's 6 stage managers, and they only bring 1 on that, and it's like the best one, you know what I mean? And they're not going to bring me in when I'm first year manager, you know what I mean?
Hey, I mean, crazy. Like, I mean, it's like you said, you sent them the Instagram DM on Monday, and you flew out on Wednesday.
True,
So,
they do move quick.
You know?
That's another thing, bros. They'll like, if they don't like you, you're gone. There's this one dude, Randall. He said, the coach was like, "Why doesn't this sound like, what's wrong with the sound, man?" And Randall was like having a bad day, I guess, and looked at the coach and goes, "Well, why don't you fucking do it?" And then coach just looks at him like this and walks away. And then I went and did some shit and came back. Randall's gone. I'm like mid-game, like in the middle of the performance. I'm running around doing things, and I'm like, "Bro, where's Randall?" And he's like, DJ's like, "Yeah, I'm doing sound and DJ today. Randall went home." I was like, "Oh shit, bro." Like they literally just said, "Get him out, send him home now, flight." They're crazy.
Because how was that whole, so like you sent the DMs, like did the DM to their team and you just got accepted. Is that how it works for the players as well too, or did you
No
not
idea.
talk? No, okay.
I have no idea.
Because did you get to be with the players at all then, or is it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so you got to know them and talk with them and everything like that?
Yeah, most of them are pretty cool. Some of them are divas though.
Yeah, I can see that a little bit.
This one dude, every single venue would come up to me, "Yo, bro, you got the Wi-Fi?" Like, I don't give a fuck about Wi-Fi right now, bro. I have like 30 things I have to do, okay? Go ask a security guard. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he would just, oh my God, I wanted to kill him. But yeah, little things like that. Or like, "I don't like my room. My room's too small." Like, bruh, this is what they give me. Like, because I have to like go through, pick out all the rooms for the coaches, the players. Where am I going to put the halftime? Where am I going to put the pregame? I have to make sure I get the pregame and halftime and get them from the outside of the building inside, make sure they have a space to practice, and like everything I did. You know what I mean? Anything happening in that building that day, I was doing. So, and then he was complaining to me about Wi-Fi. I'm like, I don't give a shit, bro.
It's not my job.
It is my job technically, but it is the bottom of the food chain of my job. You know what I mean?
So you didn't just go to Tumbling. There was a whole other list of things that you had to do.
Well, my first year was just tumbling. We were like the clowns, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We had to set up all the equipment for everything, break down all the equipment. We do a little performance with them. But then I guess dunkers have like some kind of persona that they think they're better than everybody in the world, so they don't even get along with each other, and they would fight and not listen and not show up because they're not getting paid enough. And yeah, so only lasted 1 year, and I'm the only one they kept out of the 4 tours. I guess 2 of us they kept, me and Justin. And yeah, I guess it just fell apart. And then I was just a manager, so I just tumble when I can.
So you didn't even get to do the dunks anymore now?
No.
Then? No.
Only 1 year.
Darn, dude.
Yeah.
But you're still with them. So like the not doing that again?
Yeah, I'm not going back.
No.
I could. I was thinking about it, but I guess it's like less stressful now. But like back when I was doing it, it was so stressful. It's like I have PTSD, bro. It's like I don't want to go back to that. You know what I mean? But they paid really well, like $1,800 a week.
That's really good.
Or 2 weeks, my bad.
1,800 every 2 weeks, so 36 grand every month type of thing.
And they pay for your housing, your flights, food, everything. So that's just money you're stacking.
Yeah.
It was real nice.
That's really nice, dude. I like it, like $3,600 a month, like just for 4 months of the year. What is that? I don't even know.
It was like 16 a year, I think.
Okay. Which
So-
for you getting to travel.
And I get to go see the world,
Right.
yeah. And I got to perform in front of, like, I did a cork, I think, on, like, every single college stadium in the country. I've probably done, like, 200 to 300 arenas that I've done a cork at.
Did you get them all filmed at every single one?
Yes, but they're on, like, 3 different phones at this point, because, like, I guess 2 different phones. So this one has, like, maybe, like, 50. My last phone probably has, like, 200 of them, and then the phone before that has, like, 1 or 2. Or probably like 10 or 20.
Mm-hmm.
So like I have to like go through and compile them all onto my computer and stuff. Like there's so many though.
Dude, because like, and maybe I could help you do that as well too, because I was thinking, when you said that you have like 300 plus corks that you're doing on every single stadium, I was thinking of doing doing clips, like almost of like you like.
Where
doing,
like I
little,
land and then as I land, it
Exactly.
changes scenery. But yeah, I wasn't that smart when I was filming it,
Uh-huh.
and I didn't do the same spacing. So like if we tried to do that, I would be moving around in the video, like where I'm doing it. You know what I mean? So it could look cool, but it wouldn't look fluid.
Well, you can do like you do have the thing where you can do much more of like you can zoom in and like you can do like
That's
lines
true,
and everything like
that's
that. So
true.
like you can't always make the framing the way that you want it to look
Okay.
within there. So like if you have one that's stagnant, that's like the right place that you need it to be, then you just make everything else form to that, because I'm assuming the flips
That makes sense.
pretty much
Yeah, it's
identical
in
to
the
the
same
exact same.
box. Right?
Yeah.
You just have to find that box and then match them.
Correct.
That would make sense.
Yeah,
Okay.
because you could just lay one on top of another and then just like
Yeah,
do
yeah.
sequences through there. And
That would be pretty cool.
because I was thinking like even like as you're turning type of thing, like it's like
And the court
changing
changes? Yeah,
the
okay, I've
stadiums
seen
and
those.
such like that.
There's a tricker dude, Jose Guantanamo. He's a Japanese dude, and he has that, but you know what a flash kick is?
No, I don't think so.
Where you kick one leg and hold that leg all the way
Oh, okay.
around, and it's
And
like
flip
you're-
backwards?
Yeah, and it's a backflip. But he did that, and the scenery behind him was changing the
Yep.
whole time, like tink, 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 tink. It was the coolest thing, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if you Casey Neistat, you familiar with him at
Who?
all? Casey Neistat? Vulcan knows who he is.
Yeah.
Vlogger out in New York.
Okay.
And he did this video, he partnered up with Nike.
Okay.
And it was a whole video of like I can type of thing, because he got like this new wristband and like he was like traveling around the world type of thing. He's like, all right, I want
Okay.
to take all the money that he was spending there. And he ran all the way across, like ran in all these different places, and like the background's
Oh,
changing
yeah, I think
as
I
he's
did
running.
see that.
Yeah.
I think I did see that.
So that's where I was thinking, like, if you did that with each stadium and different like backgrounds on the floor or something like
Yeah,
that,
that would be
dude, that'd
cool.
be so sick to
That
see.
would be cool.
I'd be happy to help you do that.
Even
because,
just like the major ones, like Bulls to Lakers to, I think I have the Bucks. Bro, I saw Usher
Really?
in person. My entire life, I thought he was like 6'2".
Is he not?
He's like up to here on me. Like, he's like here.
Really?
Yes, I was like, what the heck, bro? My mind was like, I was so confused. I thought he was tall, but he just gets short people next to him in his videos to make him look tall. I did not know that. It was crazy.
Because like, so I don't know much about Usher. Is he a big like I know like
He was like big pop kind of R&B singer when we were all growing up.
idol of yours type of thing, or
Huh?
idol of yours? Like, did you look up? No. Okay.
Just I knew how big he was, super famous. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Yeah. So it was weird to see him in person first off, and then second off to see he's short too. I was like, I thought he was tall.
Isn't that cool how like we put this perception on people that we see online, and we think that they're this
Right.
way, and then we meet them in person. It's like,
Completely different.
or it's just like you're just
Or,
like me.
Going next to football or basketball players,
Mm-hmm.
and you see them running around on the field, you're like, yeah, they're pretty big. But then you're standing next to them, you're like, oh, hey man, like, who was it? Jimmy Butler.
Mm-hmm.
Jimmy Butler and forget who else it was. Pau Gasol.
Okay.
We're walking next to each other, and I think it was in Boulder. Yeah, they're playing for some reason in Boulder at CU, and we were doing halftime performance for it. But I was walking in the back, and they just like walked past me, and like both of them, like I had to go like this to look at their heads. I was like, this is crazy. They're huge people.
That's awesome. How do you see all these people? Like, is it just you just are at the right place at the right time type
Yeah,
of thing?
kind of.
Because that's
Like,
interesting.
Simone Biles, I met her just because I was setting up equipment at the tryouts for the women's trials, and they walked through the back while we were doing equipment. So I saw Allie Raisman. Actually, Allie Raisman was at Woodward. So like, I actually like handshake her, say what's up, like talk to her kind of thing. She was pretty cool.
Who's she again? I'm not familiar.
Olympian.
Okay.
Trevor's crush.
He's probably a little jealous of that.
They introduced him to her, and he goes, "Hi, I'm Trevor," and that's it. Then starts coaching and spotting. I was like, "Oh my god, this is your idol, and you see her, and that's all you're gonna say." "Hi, I'm Trevor." That shit was hilarious.
Well, what else are you supposed to do? Like, are you gonna get frozen? Like, it's just like.
I guess like all I did was like, oh hey, nice to meet you. You know what I mean? Like it's cool to see you. And
Yeah.
then I went back and coached. You know what I mean? So I don't know.
I love that. Like, there's times where I'll freeze up, and I like to think I'm pretty good with my words. Like, I can talk, but there's also times I'm like, okay, I'm not exactly sure what to be saying, or it's like, which direction do I want to take this type of thing? Especially if it's like my idol or somebody that I'm into, or whatever it may be, or I'm like wanting. It's like, okay, let's not make myself look like an idiot in front of her.
I feel like I would be like my dog. I'd get too excited around certain people, and then I'd mess up my words, you know what I mean? Or like do something stupid, say something stupid.
Yeah, I got called out earlier today for like doing that little stuttering thing, but it's like, it's more me looking for my words type of thing.
That's what I do too. Or I'll like say the same thing over like 3 times in a row because I'm like deciding how I want to say what I want to say, you know what I mean?
Exactly, because like words, like I've run into people, and maybe you have as well too, so like I love it because people will be like, oh, I was skinny dipping out at like Horsetooth or something like that. I'm like, okay, like that's cool, like and she's like, well, I wasn't actually skinny dipping, I was in like a sports bra and pant, and I'm like, okay, so you're not skinny dipping or anything. So like words are more powerful than I think we give ourselves credit for.
And that's like also like the English language is awesome, but it's also annoying, you know what I mean? Because words have so many different meanings.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can say the same word in a different tone and it almost means something different, you know what I mean? But if you find the right words to describe something perfectly, it works really well.
Yep. But it's also, it only resonates with certain, because like I could say one thing to you and you could be like, okay, that's perfect, but I could say the exact same thing to him and he'd be like, oh, hold on, I don't get
like,
that
what?
that well. Yeah. Vice versa too. It's just like, and that's why like that's why I've studied words and communication so much, is because I wanted to understand how to communicate with anybody at any time, anywhere. Whereas like I love it, and that's why like when we were talking beforehand, like how you were saying you went to these parties and like you did all these things, and I'm like, I'll go to the parties and I'll just find somebody, I'll just start a conversation with them, and it's just like, how do you do that, man? I'm like, because it's
I think that's where it started, like me getting into what I should have went to school for psychology. I think I really would have been interested because I was an AP Psych. I like was good at psychology, I always got good grades in it. And when I went to college, like I was so antisocial when I was doing gymnastics because I was always in the gym. Like, the only social aspect I had was when I went to school. I didn't hang out with anybody outside of that. And like school is such a confined setting that you can't exactly express yourself how you always want to. So I never really got to do that with other people, you know what I mean? So when I finally got to college and it's like all this free time, I was like, oh, fuck yeah. And I went crazy, you know what I mean? So I think that's like what made me want to actually learn how to talk to people is because I was so antisocial and so bad at talking to people. Mm-hmm. But then Globetrotters, once I had to talk to people for my job, I got pretty good at talking to people, you know what I mean? And then I got good at small talk because like I have to talk to you anyways, so I might as well shoot the shit, you know what I mean?
Exactly. Like I was just brought back to our gymnastics days too, where it was just like everybody would be like, Caleb, shut up type of thing, because like you could hear me halfway across the gym.
You had a very projecting voice back then too.
I'm like, no, it's just, I just talk like.
See, but the gym was like a different thing for me because like I was there so often. Mm-hmm.
He flew past you.
Oh, okay. I was like, did it just go in my hair?
Nah, literally, like, just flew right. Okay. A little spider just flew right by.
I know, he's been walking around. I've been watching him, and I'm like, why is he flying now?
I don't even know how they do that. Like, maybe some web.
They shoot their web in the air, and the wind catches it, and they just go with the wind.
I've always wondered how they did that.
Yeah, but anyways, back to what I was saying. The social setting for the gymnastics gym for me was like my house. So I was super comfortable there. So I didn't feel like I was in a social setting when I was at the gym. When I was at the gym, I was at home. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was more comfortable almost at the gym than I was at home.
Yep.
Because I was always there and I knew what I can and can't do, and like, I don't know, I had a sense of entitlement because my dad was the coach, you know what I mean? And I was like, this is my gym, you know what I mean?
Yep.
It was weird. So.
You still feel that way?
No. It's more of the homey feeling, not the entitlement. Like, this is my gym, it's Trevor's gym. Like, I don't really care about the gym. I just, like, want to be able to train there.
Yeah.
So that's why I do the little bit of coaching that I do, so I can train for free.
That's awesome, man. Yeah. You training, what, like 4 or 5-year-olds or something like that, or are you doing more like teens?
Right now, they're trying to start a boys team again, but it's failed like 3 times, and they keep fucking trying. I'm like, bro, just let it die, but they won't. So we have like 2 kids that I coach right now. They're 13 and 12, maybe.
Is
11.
it still at the?
It's still pretty young.
What? It wasn't Apex. I can't remember.
Yeah, it was Apex.
Okay, that's what I thought. Is it still Apex?
No,
then?
it's active now.
Active. Okay.
I guess some business in Texas, I think it was, had the Apex name, and they were suing us, so we had to change it.
Gotcha. That's weird. Wasn't the gym too, like, did it move? Because I feel like it's
moved
not.
twice.
Okay.
It used to be in that Jungle Quest place down the street, across from the Wendy's.
Yeah, off of Broadway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It used to be there. That's the original spot. Then we moved up the street to what's now a Camp Bow Wow, so it's like a dog take care place.
Mm-hmm.
And then we moved across the parking lot to another gym, and then we broke down 2 of the walls inside that building, so now it's like a big gym.
Okay, so it's still in the same area.
Yeah.
Okay. So I rode my bike over there, dude, like a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, come in on Fridays, bro. I'm there
Yeah,
all the time.
I'm gonna have to now. Shoot me the address, and I will, because like I rode my bike, and I thought I was going crazy. I was like,
Yeah.
I swore this is where we had gymnastics. I'm like, it's a
Yeah.
doggy daycare place right
Yep,
now. I'm
yep.
like, am I tripping? Because there's been some weird things going around in my world lately.
I
I'm
feel
like,
you.
is this really happening, or am I just like imagining shit right now?
Yeah, we moved around a little bit,
Okay.
but
Yeah, dude, I'm happy to join on Friday. My tumbling skills are probably not where they
bro.
used to be, but like,
I've had friends come in that can't tumble at all, and they'll just fuck around on the tramp for a little while. Actually, 2 of the kids, so my friend Sage has 3 kids, and he brought 2 of them with 2 of their cousins, and they were just like fucking around for the night. But the 2 cousins were actually getting pretty good, like learning front flip, landing it. Little Nolan, I think he's like 5 or 6. He was getting his front flips, not really landing that well, but understanding like how to get around, you know what I mean? Like, it was kind of cool just to see him come in and try some shit. And then Sage started doing aerials, and he's my age, you know what I mean? Never seen him flip in my life. Just kidding, I've seen him flip, and he's one of those, and then like hit the side of the trampoline kind of guys. I have to like save him in the air, so. Yeah, I don't let him do front or back flips, but he's getting better. He's getting better.
That's good.
But yeah, everybody's just there to fuck around, you know what I mean? Sometimes I'll just bounce on tramp for 30 minutes and then call it good.
That's all you really need, right?
I definitely do a lot more tramp than I do tumbling. It's less on the body, but still works. Like,
You're twisting.
you'd be surprised how sore you get just from squeezing and
Really?
holding. Yeah, like if I do I probably did 10 triple fulls last night. My abs are sore. My pecs are a little sore. My neck, this side, because that's the side I twist. Like just from squeezing, you know what I mean?
Do you always twist to what would that be, to the right?
Naturally, I go to the
Naturally,
right. But
okay.
me and Trevor, over the last couple of years, we started twisting both ways. So now forwards, I can do double full both ways. Backward, I can do full both ways. I can do double full on the floor on my bad side, but it's scary. Like, I did round off full last night and got lost and was like, I almost died.
Yeah, dude. During COVID, I went out to Uray, and like I was wearing
Where's
hike.
that?
So it's Grand Junction, like Morris, Ridgeway. Do you know Ridgeway? Like
Yeah, okay.
Ridgeway
I know
Lake.
Morrison, too.
Yeah, so Morrison, Colorado. Montrose. It's Montrose. So it's more out west, like near Utah type of thing.
Okay.
And there's this place. There's this like lake out there, and there's like a town called Uray, and they have like hot springs and everything
Oh,
like
that
that
sounds
out there,
nice.
like super mountains. Like it's
Okay.
a small little town, absolutely gorgeous, dude. And if like you're talking about getting out into the mountains, so like
That'd be
we
cool.
can get a big group of people or something like that, go out there for a weekend or whatever it may be. It'd be
I'd be
sick.
down. Yeah, a weekend.
'Cause-
My homie just did a weekend in Steamboat Springs. It was $325 for the weekend.
Yeah.
To get like a apartment, essentially. You know what I mean? So everybody just pitched in. I had a pull-out couch. I slept on the couch. There were 3 rooms. So the girls slept in one room. The couple slept in the other room. I got the couch. Like, it was chill. And I paid probably $50 for the weekend.
That's a good deal.
Yeah, it was pretty fun.
Dude, it's funny. So we did the exact same thing out at Granby just recently,
Okay.
a couple weeks ago or so, and like we had this hot tub and everything like that. Everybody, we got so drunk and everything like in the hot tub, and somebody brought up the idea. It's like, all right, an orgy's happening tonight. I was like, all right, like, sure, why not? Let's test this. And like everybody it was a whole shit show. It was so much
That
fun
sounds
though,
fun,
man.
though.
I loved it, dude.
Yeah.
It was fantastic. I love those like little getaway trips. Like you get a big group of people together, or whatever it may be.
It felt like I was doing that for 4 years because, like, with Globetrotters, like,
Yeah.
we're moving all the time. And what do you think we're going to do when we're not working? We all go hang out. You know
Yep.
what I mean? So we would be out running the streets all night, like every night. it got to the point where I was like, I'm going to just start saying I'm sick so that I don't have to go out. Because they would come to me like right away, you know what I mean?
It's gotta be nice,
and
right?
It is nice, but I wanted to say no, but I didn't at the same time because I wanted to please them, but I'm tired, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because is one better than the other though? Like going out on the town and having fun, or because like you get the story from going out on the town type of thing, but it's also like I don't want to be drinking all night long type of thing. So
and
it's
then
like
I feel like shit tomorrow.
mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure I talked to so many parents that got drunk from smelling my breath. Especially those 9 o'clock in the morning things, and I'm like, oh, sorry, yes.
So like once the game's done with the Globetrotters, like you just it's pretty much
Oh yeah, it's free for all.
Chilling.
Yeah. Make sure that you're at the bus when we're leaving.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you have to find a way to get to the next place we're going to. One time, I had to take a 2-hour Uber because I woke up late and missed the bus.
Really.
It was terrible.
Dude, that sucks, man.
$300.
Hey, I mean, good thing they're paying you as much as they were for a week.
True. I was so pissed though.
Oh, dude, yeah, no, that's why I felt bad today. Like when we were meeting, I was like, I'm sorry I'm running late type of thing. Like,
you're good.
It was a whole big thing for me. I was like, I was supposed to shoot another one this morning with a guy, and he ended up getting sloshed last night. And like, he's like, I called him, I wasn't picking up his phone. I'm like, did he like, did I get scammed or some shit like that? Like, what's happening? And yeah, no, he just got too drunk last night and like wasn't able to wake up at 8:30 on a.
You didn't get the film this morning?
No, so I ended up helping my dad at his store. I don't know if you know, he owns a liquor store, so like,
nice.
I helped him stock his shelves and everything like that for a little while, and then got food, and then I had to bring him down to Castle Rock, so that's why it took me longer to get up here. But I was like only 5 minutes late, which wasn't too bad. But yeah, no, it's been good lately. So it's just one of those things, dude, where it's just like we all have these like experiences, I feel like, and it's just like, why not let it take us where we need them to go? That's why, like, I wouldn't say I'm envious, but like I admire like you having the courage to go out and do like your thing with the Globetrotters.
Oh no, it was scary, bro. Like,
yeah,
because like you're 100% on your own, and like the coaches kind of watch after you and like tell you what you should and shouldn't be doing, but you're 100% on your own. Like I could go out and get fucked up and then miss the thing, and then they'd send me home.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like that's how it was. So you kind of have to watch yourself on that, but you're 100%. Like if you get lost, I got lost in, I think it was Texas, because they had like, I was walking down the street just trying to go find somewhere to eat, you know, just kind of chilling, strolling, and then they had like a river walk, and I walked down the river walk for like 45 minutes, and then I turned around and I was like, I am in a city I don't know. Why did I do that? You know what I mean? And I like had to walk around I ended up walking around until like, I think it was 11:30 or 12, and then I finally found my way back home, because like if you don't put the address in your phone, and I don't have a way to know where I went back. Well, I know now what I didn't know then.
Yeah.
So I was like, I have no idea where my hotel is, and I have no idea how to get it because I didn't put in that I didn't take myself there. You know what I mean? So I didn't think about that. So once I realized that I have to know where I'm going back to, then it was less scary. But yeah, it was really cool to see all the towns.
Because are you not used to like getting lost? Like when you're like just stepping out in like a random town and just like wandering around and like having no idea where you're at?
I try to keep a navigational map in my head of like, this is where the hotel is, this is, I went this way, so I can retrace my steps if I need to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just naturally do that all the time, so I like to know where I am. I can't just wander, unless I'm in the forest. Then I'm cool with wandering and being lost, yeah.
But in the city,
But in the city, I don't like to. There's too much shit happening in the city, bro.
Yeah, that is true, man. That's
You
why.
never know what's gonna happen.
No, you don't. That's
I remember we were in Calgary, and we're walking around, and we look down this alley, and it's like all cardboard, or what's that?
Plexiglass?
No, it's that weird wood that looks like it's like paper mache.
Oh,
forget
like
what that's called. Not cork board.
I know what you're talking about. Like, like you put it on the floors type
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
And like they clip into one another.
Yeah, well, kind of like that. Yeah, like they had that like all up in the thing with like a high-rise kind of thing, and then we look down and there's towels that just full of blood, and we're like, I think we should just walk the other way. We're just gonna keep going that way. Yeah.
It's intuition.
But I was at least with other people that time, so like if I was by myself, I'd be like, guess we're not in a good spot of the city. You know what I mean? Like you're supposed to know what's good and bad, because certain cities you could go around the wrong corner and you're on the wrong block and there's gangs. You know what I mean?
Which, did you ever run into things like that when you were
No, I
out
try
there?
to definitely stay away from that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I have a little bit of street smarts coming because I grew up in Chicago, or I was born in Chicago. I remember whenever we go to the city, bro, like my dad would be on edge. I remember when we lived in Detroit, he would put on a movie and we'd lay down and watch a movie on the floor because people like to do drive-bys on New Year's.
Oh, yeah.
He never told us that, but that's why he would do that.
Mm-hmm. As a kid, you're probably like, oh yeah, hey,
Like, oh yeah, lay down and watch a
We'll
movie.
lay
This
down.
sounds fun.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's
But
fair.
I guess that was the real reason.
I love, like, those are so. This is why I like talking with other people, because like I didn't have that, and like hearing like other people's stories of like, hey, like we were on the ground, like we had to be like, I'm like,
Right.
it brings in a new perspective that like I myself never had growing up as a kid, which it always fascinates me because it's like,
And if you think about it, I didn't have it that bad. You
No.
know what I mean? Like, yeah, we had some sketchy life situations, but like some people live that life. You know what I mean? Some people are the kids of the dad that's doing the drive-by. You know what I mean? So that's a whole different aspect. But yeah, I guess you kind of put yourself in that mindset when you're younger, when you're around it, because you're around it.
exactly.
But like, you know it could be worse. But like, if you never have to worry about anything being bad, you don't know that it could be worse. You know what I mean? But then when somebody tells you it could be worse, you're like, oh, yeah, that kind of sucks. You know what I mean?
And that's where that perspective comes in, because it's just like if you don't have that perspective, then it's like, okay, well,
Do you have siblings?
yeah, 2 younger sisters.
Okay. I think that's another thing that, like, when you get younger, you know how to put yourself in someone else's shoes better when you have siblings.
Yeah.
Like, people that grow up by themselves, like, are not good at doing that. So they'll be like, why are you mad right now? Be like, bro, because you just fucking scuffed my shoes, you know what I mean? Or something like that.
Yep.
Like, and I paid for these shoes, you know what I mean?
Yep. Like I've worked my ass off to get to this
Right.
place or whatever it may be, and you're over here like butting heads with me.
Right.
Like, I have a-
you get paid to do your chores. If I don't do my chores, I don't get food.
Pretty much. Because I've had a friend of mine, dude, where like he was coming at me like around continent. He's like, hey, make shorts. And I'm like, he's an only child. And like I
Okay.
got in with it. And with it, for a second, I was like, I love the guy, but I'm like,
Right. I mean, Trevor is like one of my best friends, and he's an only child.
yeah.
But he just knows how to put himself in others' shoes like that. He's, I guess, a more respectful person.
Yeah. I think everybody can be. It's a skill that can be acquired and learned.
It just helps to have siblings. It'll kind of humble you a little faster.
right? Because is he still teaching them now, or is he like,
I don't know what the fuck Jerry's doing, bro.
really?
Yes, he's still in Arkansas.
Oh, okay.
Like, why?
Yeah, what's in Arkansas?
He
of
went
all
out there.
places?
No, he went out there for a good reason. Him
Oh,
and his
okay.
girlfriend had a little dancing studio / sky bar that they
Oh,
were
nice.
like running pretty much. So
Yeah.
they would do all their dance stuff and promotional in the little studio downstairs. And then once they're done with that, they'd go up to the sky bar at night and they'd make a living. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then she broke up with him, and he's like, "Oh, I don't want to move out of here because I moved out here and I established my place and blah, blah, blah." I'm like, bro, you're in fucking Arkansas. The KKK leader's up the street. Like, just come out. It's okay. You know what I mean? But he feels so like his own little town, so he's staying. I mean, he's at a liquor store. I guess he's a manager of a liquor store. He's talking to some girl again now. So I guess he's doing his thing and he's doing well, but I just don't understand why he wants to be in Arkansas.
Yeah.
There's so many better places.
Right. But I mean, who knows? Maybe like we aren't in his head or in his world. Like for
Yeah,
all
and
we know,
the
like,
little town that he's in is like a little small town tourist town. So I think he likes that everybody knows him, you know what I mean? So it makes him feel at home also,
Yeah.
or safe. And
Because then, like with all the traveling you've done to yourself, do you want to go to any other states, or are you like stuck
I would
on
like,
here?
I like rain, so I was thinking like Seattle or Oregon would be cool because like it's got snow, so I can snowboard, it's got water, so I can like go surf or lay on the beach if I want to. It might be cold, but whatever. And it's got mountains, so like you can hike, like it's got everything, you know what I mean? It's got a nice little city, it's got a river going through downtown, that's pretty cool. Like I think like something on the coast I could do, or Atlanta would be cool. My sister lives in Atlanta, so she just bought a house out there. Like if I really wanted to, I could go out there, live with her for a bit, get my shit together, and then figure something out there, but I don't know. Not sure.
Yeah. I feel like everybody wants to put their own perceptions and like ideas onto ourselves for what we should do for our lives.
Right.
And it's like, well, what do I want to do?
Right,
Like, what does
yeah.
Zach want to do? Like,
Right. If I had my way, I would just get paid enough to live comfortably and perform all the time. You know what I mean? Like back when I was doing the Nuggets, that was fun because they paid me nothing. They gave us $50 a performance and $9.10 an hour if we're in the building.
oh,
So like I get like $120 paychecks. I'm like, okay, well,
Yeah.
I don't need this, you know. But it was really fun. Like I was enjoying myself. I liked that. So
Yeah.
if I could live off of that, like doing something at the NBA and just do a bunch of halftime shows and tumbling, then that would be the ideal thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because then like you get the whole everybody watching you, adrenaline rush kind of thing, feel like a superstar or whatever. I guess I've kind of grown accustomed to that feeling.
Do you have that number by any chance in mind of what that would need to be each month? Like for you to be, because like you said, if I just had enough to perform and like
$2,000, $3,000 a month.
Okay.
Like that's not too hard, you know what I mean? Still only like $40K a year.
Yeah.
So, but they won't do that.
No.
Because they're just so fucking stingy. They are so stingy. It's Kroenke.
The NBA is?
No, it's Kroenke.
I don't know.
So Kroenke owns the Nuggets, and he owns the LA Rams.
Mm-hmm.
They bought them a couple years ago. But he's just does not like the whole dunking thing, I guess.
Why?
It's not cool? I don't know.
I'm like, I feel like dunking thing.
I guess we got canceled because there was too much injury. They said that they had $40,000 in medical bills, and it's not worth it. But also, they took like random people off the street. You know what I mean? We had like 3 athletes and then some dads, and the dads, of course, get hurt.
Yeah, it's like, why not do something that like professionals, bring like professionals or experts such as yourself in and be like, okay, like.
And you can rely on me. I will not get hurt. I will keep I would do exactly what you want. You know what I mean? Just let me live.
Exactly. So let me live my life the way that you want to. And I don't know, have you looked at other NBA teams other than the Nuggets?
My friend's on the Pistons, and he invited me out there, but I don't think I want to live in Detroit.
No, that's fair. You've already been there too,
Right.
it sounds like, so.
Well, I could live in Boyne. I like Boyne. That's where my grandma lives, my aunt, and she lives in my grandma's house now. But that's like a 5-hour drive to Detroit.
Yeah.
So every game I'd have to drive 5 hours.
There and then 5 hours back too? No.
Yeah.
And like the pay would probably have to be like completely like
Right.
different for you to be able to do
Insane,
something
yeah.
like that. Yeah, dude, that's like the NBA thing. But like when I look at it this way, and maybe you've never considered it this way, like with your Instagram, like clearly you have skills and you have talents and everything like that.
Actually, I just brought this up the other day. I guess they say that if you just pay once on Instagram to have your thing promoted, they now put you in a different group of advertising.
Interesting.
So like if the people that have never paid don't get advertised as much, so people don't see them as much. But then once you pay at least $5, it puts you in a different category, so it's easier to find your profile and more people will look at you.
Huh.
So I need to just pay that $5 first off. But I guess I just need to try to find a way to get followers, and then I can just like make videos and do ads pretty much.
Have you ever done ads or anything like that?
I tried to do it once for some watch company. They said that it was free, and then I did the thing, and it ended up charging me $40, and then the product never showed up, and like just stupid shit. So I just never really trusted it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But a lot of people say that they've reached out to someone on Instagram and find something good. You know what I mean? I feel like I would have to meet them in person in order to get that trust. You know what I mean? That face to face. Yes, you're going to do this for me. We're working together, kind of thing. But like if you just DM me over the Instagram, it just feels so impersonal.
So I'll show you something because I felt the exact same way too. This is something that I've been doing, and there's this thing this other guy's been doing as well too. So like I'm gonna be doing some sales a little bit later. But like so this dude, he sends like full like videos of like himself, so it's more personal.
Okay.
So it's not just like you're doing like a text thing, and it's just
like more of a FaceTime kind of thing.
Correct, yeah.
Okay,
because like
I
you
could
can send
I
like
could
the
get into
videos.
that.
Yeah. Because I was always under the impression too, where it's just like it feels so impersonal, like just saying like a cold DM or something like that.
Right.
But then it's like if I
You
make
have
it
nothing
more
to
like
attach it to except words.
But if like you show your face or like you do an audio recording or you do something along those
Makes
lines,
sense. Makes it a little
then
more
it's
personal.
exactly. And you can also like look at that person's page as well too and be like, hey, I see that you like are into flips, or I see that you are trying to get better at flips or whatever it may be. Then you can start doing it that way. Because like I'm under the impression like if people are following you, then clearly you can reach out to those people and see if they're interested in it, or you can just send like DMs to other people.
I actually have 1,000 real followers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, because a lot of people pay for them and they're fake. Like, I know like 700 of these people. I have met them in my life, and then they follow me on Instagram. You know what I mean? So like, it's a different kind of pool that I have. So I don't know. I kind of just like having that as like the story of my life, quote unquote. You know what I mean? Because like you can go through my Instagram and like literally see me grow and see different new things happen. You know what I mean? I kind of like it that way.
That's a really good point.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I've archived stuff on my Instagram page.
Yeah, and then if I die, you could be like, oh, look, yeah, that's Zach.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Like, I'd get high, dude. Like, so I'd have some edibles or like smoke, and then I'd go onto my profile. And I'd get too into my head of thinking like, okay, what is somebody else thinking about my profile?
Right.
I was like,
trying to please others. Yeah.
Mhm.
I just kind of put the shit. That's why like all of my clips are like raw. Like I don't put music to my shit usually because it's just me doing my shit. That's what I want to do. You know what I mean?
plus, it's a good way to keep it in one place compared to you having to like on your phone. And if other people do like get attracted to it or see it, it's like, okay, well, this could go somewhere, or this could not
Right.
go somewhere.
I did have one post blow up.
Really?
Yeah, it got like 16,000 views, I think, and like 2,000 likes.
Hell yeah, dude.
It was kind of cool.
Yeah.
And like it gave me that feeling of like, oh, maybe I can do this. You know what I mean? But then I posted another one and it got like 125 views, and I'm like, goddamn.
What's the whole detachment? Like, you got to detach yourself from that outcome.
Yeah, and I've heard that there's like certain tags that you need to like, because like, I guess the hashtags are meant for, you could put hashtag flips, and then all of the videos that put hashtag flip will show up.
Yep.
So like the more hashtags you have, the more easy it is for your video to show up. And then also, there's another point. I think I forgot it. Yeah, I'll come back to it.
It's all good, dude. It happens all the time.
Oh, that's what time of day it is.
Mm-hmm.
Because if like I guess 12 o'clock is like the best time to post because most people are at lunch. Everybody's awake on this side of the world. So like there has more of a chance for people to see it. So I never really looked at all those statistics. But with that one post, I like tried to map it all out and make it happen, and it happened. And I was like, okay, maybe this is a thing. Like I can actually get this to work. Because then if I get sponsors, I can actually make some money off of it. Because like I knew this one dude, Austin Ray, he was making $2,000 a post from shreds. All he had to do is have the bottle in the video somewhere, and he's allowed to post twice a month.
Yeah.
So that's $4,000 a month just from 2 30-second videos.
Exactly.
Like what?
Yeah.
Like that is what I really would like to do. Because then I can go do performances whenever I want. Just be like, hey, I have 100% free time. And then I can put your fucking product in the performance.
Exactly.
In front of thousands of people, you know what I mean? I was actually pretty upset. What day is today?
We got Saturday.
I'm supposed to be in Alaska right now.
What happened with that?
I guess like the dude that I was doing the performance for, he called me at lunch to like make sure that I'm available for it. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm available. I'm good. I got it all. He's like, okay, cool. Sounds good. A couple weeks go by. I text him like, yo, are we all good for next week? And he was like, oh, did we like actually say that we were doing it? And I was like, why would you call me and tell me to not have to have free time if it's not like, what's that word?
Commitment?
No, like it's gonna happen.
Oh, guarantee?
I guess, yeah, we could say that. Like, we never guaranteed it. And I was like, I thought that was a guarantee when you call someone to like ask them if they can do it and they say yes.
Yeah.
That's commitment, right?
I'd say so.
But I guess he put someone else on it, so. And I was like hoping to because it's dark there right now, so I was hoping to see the Northern Lights.
Oh, dude,
And I've been to every state in the country except for Alaska and Hawaii. So I would have had one left, and he fucked it all up. I was so pissed.
Hey, I've been thinking about going to Alaska because I want to see the Northern Lights as well too.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like it'd be pretty sick.
Bro, a podcast under the lights.
Bro, right? So like I got this this is so I would always think it'd be like, okay, this is what I want to do. Like, these are the thoughts, the ideas that I have within my head. So I come out that's why I just started doing the podcast because I'm like, I don't know. Like, at least it's just like I look at it as like, let's just start walking.
Yeah.
Like, I might as well just start posting videos, just having conversations. If it goes somewhere, it goes somewhere. If not, like, I just like having conversations with people. So I'm like,
it's helping you grow
exactly
one way or another.
Exactly. So, but like I have these ideas where it's just like I'd love to go out to Alaska, sit get like a hot tub or something like that, and just like have the Northern Lights or something like that. Do a podcast. Like,
they have those. I saw on Amazon they have like a $500 inflatable hot tub. So like it folds up into like a little box. You can like carry it where you want to and just pump it up, and then it has heaters and stuff in it. So if you fill it with water, then you have like a portable hot tub.
That's pretty sick.
I was like about to buy it.
Do you have a place to put that in? Like, where you?
Oh yeah, I have my bag out.
Oh, okay.
I just throw the bag out.
Nice.
Yeah.
I didn't know if you had an apartment or something like that.
No.
So, yeah, it's just the whole just start where you are. That's why it's like posting the videos, like having the things that you can post online, and like everybody's gonna be like, all right, you need this many hashtags, you need to post it at this time of day, you need to, but it's just like,
it's a hassle.
It's also you're just thinking about it too much. Just post the video. Like, if it goes somewhere, it goes somewhere.
That's how I do it. Yeah.
Before you got here too, there was this girl. I don't know if you've been to the Target out in Lone Tree at all or not.
I don't think
So like the door's open and you just see like the mountains and it's like a great view and everything like that. It's super pretty. And I before you showed up, I went on Instagram and I opened up my feed and it's that video of like her walking out.
Yeah.
And I click on her page and it's just like 1.5 million views for like this one, like just her like targets in Colorado. And I'm like, what is this about? So I send her a
crazy.
DM and she messages me back and she's like, yeah, I got no idea. Like it was one of the
It
super
just happened.
simplest like videos, like nothing, like no big caption, no lots of hashtags or anything like that. But I'm just like, what made this go so well for her? And I'm just like,
some kind of algorithm.
it's either that or like just, I think it's just like, you know, baseball, I'm assuming. Like, it's just like the more times you're up at bat, the higher likelihood you have of getting a home run.
Right.
So it's just like if you're thinking
And
about
also,
it all
if
the
it's
time.
actually a pretty cool video and somebody sees it, they're probably going to share it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But it looked like a normal standard video.
Right.
Like nothing out of the ordinary, nothing like crazy, which I found it fascinating.
That is weird.
So that's why like when you're like, if you could just make an extra $4,000 a month or something like that, like it's easy enough to
crazy.
do with social. It's just comes down to like, are you willing to post every single day, like, or reach out to people every single day? And if you don't want to do that, then it's just going to take longer.
Right.
But as long as you show up every single day,
That's
like,
another thing, bro, is I know how antisocial I am. Like, so I'm really good at being social, but I have a cat.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, after a certain amount of time or days or a certain amount of interaction with people, I'm just like, all right, cut off the world. Let me just be by myself for a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So once I started thinking about, like, being an Insta promoter, dude, I'd have to be social all the time. Like, it'd be my job now to be social.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd have to not cut myself out from the world.
Well, when you do cut yourself out to the world, where do you go?
Just by myself in a room, play games,
Yeah. So
make a fire, just lay on the hammock.
yeah.
Yeah,
So I mean, you could still do that technically,
that's
couldn't you?
true. That's true.
Because it's not like you're.
Or maybe just turn the phone off. Be like, I'm not dealing
Yeah,
with that
just be like,
today.
hey, this
Yeah.
is like, I'm doing me today type of thing.
Yeah, because that's another thing is like, I feel like I would be a comment reader if I like blew up and I post something. I would read the comments and then I would be pissed all the time. I would want to fight everybody.
Hey, some you can't. But like, what if it's not even like, yeah, what if you didn't have to fight everybody all the time?
I mean, you don't. I could just delete comments.
Yeah.
Disable comments on all my.
That is true. That would probably
You
make
have the
people,
power now.
That would make people even madder too.
Exactly.
Like, why the fuck does he not have comments
I can't
on?
even get mad at him.
I'm gonna watch it over and over. Try to get mad at him. So yeah, dude, it's because like I'm the same way. Where like I love people, I love talking with them. Like it's just it's who I am.
Negative people can make me mad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a thing when you're an emotional person. You get all the happy, but then you also get the angry and the sad.
Mm-hmm. And I used to just jump to the anger first because I never wanted to feel the sad or the grief or the
Exactly,
sorrow
yeah.
or the guilt. And now I've come to realize it's almost a strength to let myself feel my sadness and cry compared to me just being like getting angry and punching a wall like I used to.
Oh yeah.
It's so much more.
It's good for your brain.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, because I guarantee you certain things in your brain are firing when you feel those certain emotions, and if you don't have those things firing, they're not going to work as well. You know what I mean? So you have to feel all the different emotions in order to have a 100% working brain.
Yep. It's just like us as men, we were always told, at least I was, is like, don't show emotions. Like,
I think that's just like a stigma that the old generation gave everybody in our generation. You know what I mean? Because like I'm guilty of it too. Like back in my day, I had to walk through barefoot, 5 feet of snow to school. You know what I mean? But like kids nowadays are like, you come in twice a week for 3 hours, and you're complaining that you're tired.
yeah.
And your hands hurt.
Yep.
Get over it. You know what I mean? Like I went every day for 4 hours, and what happened when my hands hurt? I got on the bar and took a turn anyways. You know what I mean? They're gonna cry because their hands hurt. You don't even have a rip yet.
I was just about
You know
to say,
what I mean?
I'm like, if you tried like digging into like the rip, like,
Or just swinging and just bypassing the pain. You know what I mean? Get
Yeah.
used to pain. It happens. It's life.
Mm-hmm.
But these kids nowadays are like, that's the way they're raising people. It's like, oh, everything's perfect and nothing hurts and you're gonna be the greatest ever. You know what I mean? And like, I'm the kind of coach where it's like, yeah, it hurts. Yeah, it's hard. Yeah, you suck. You gotta try. If you don't try, you're not gonna get anywhere. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not that coddling coach.
No.
I'm kind of like, I'll push you on your ass, and if you don't work, then you won't work and you won't get good. Because it's not my like job to make you work. My job is to teach you how to do it, but I don't have to sit here and babysit you about what you should be doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Is that what you? like, because what would you say makes a good coach? Because clearly you've done coaching for like younger kids. So
Yeah.
like, because I've been torn with the idea, and I've told it to him a little bit as well too, where it's just like, how do I coach somebody without like doing the work for them? Because I'm not here to like help them. Like, I'm here to help them clearly, but it's like I can't.
A good
do
coach
anything
doesn't
afterwards.
look like a good coach.
Yeah.
A good coach lets somebody struggle, lets somebody fail, lets somebody learn how to stand back up. You know what I mean? If you don't let them do that, they're never going to learn how to. And then as soon as you leave, they're back to square one. You know what I mean? So it's like you have to not only figure out how to teach them the right thing, but you also have to put them in the right mind state to be able to do those things.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like you have to build the mind first before you build the body almost.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, a lot of coaches just throw them through drills and make them do things and never ask, like, are you scared? Are you okay? Are you upset? You know what I mean? Like, they don't really care about that kind of thing because they just want to see results. But like, I guess that's why I don't want kids, is because like I can go have kids whenever I want, whatever age I want, and give them back whenever I want. You know what I mean? So, but I've definitely had those kids where it's like, now they're leaving and I'm sad because I'm not going to get to coach them anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Or they're growing up, they're going to college. I'm like, damn, I'm fucking old now. Yeah.
That's interesting. Yeah, I never really thought about it that way, because like, so like I do coaching, like I do mindset, like just personal, like one-on-one coaching with people typically. And I've been doing this. I've been working with this one lady for free right now, just because I wanted to prove to myself that I could do like coaching.
Right.
And it's tough because it's just like I have my own personal coach, and she challenges me in ways that I never thought possible.
Right.
But it's like mine's more mental. Like, it's more like, how do you measure a mental, like, person's mentality?
That's true. Or
Whereas
growth.
like, because like when you're doing coaching gymnastics, it's like, okay, this dude, like, he couldn't do giants first, and now we get him up to doing giants. It's like he couldn't do a spin, and now he can do a spin.
See, but with gymnastics especially, it's not 100% just physical. It's 50% mental, 50% physical.
True.
So if your mental's not ready and your physical is, you're still not going to make that skill.
Yep.
So it's a weird kind of vibe that you feel when you think that somebody can do something. Because you're not just saying, yeah, you're capable, but it's also saying, I think that you are ready to do it. You know what I mean?
True.
Because if they go for it and bail because they're scared and you just told them to throw it, they're going to hurt themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And then if they hurt themselves, they're not going to do that skill.
Yep.
So, yeah, it's a nice little game to play.
Have you
I
found,
like it, though.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Found any good ways to win that game?
I would like to say yes, but
I think the first thing you have to do is make them stop doubting themselves. That's like the biggest thing that holds people back, is like they just don't think they can. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you have to show them with micro learning, like, that they can. And sometimes that takes a long ass time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'll have some kids that'll learn skills in like weeks, and then I'll have some kids that'll learn skills in years.
Do you know why that is? Like, have you? I don't know if you ever put any thought into it or not, but
I think it's just some people have ways they go about life,
yeah.
and that's something you can't really coach or teach. You know what I mean? And like, if you don't have the drive, you don't have the drive.
True.
Can't make a fish climb a tree.
True. But you can teach people effort, because like you probably
Yeah.
never pictured yourself going and playing for the Globetrotters, I'd assume.
Actually, no, that was like my dream.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I saw
Okay.
like, my dad took me to a Globetrotters game when I was like 12, and they had the dunk people.
Yeah.
And I was like, I want to do that. And I did it. That's actually kind of cool. Yeah.
That's the cool thing, and that's why I like talking with Vulcan too, because like we there's this mindset where it's just like, all right, we can do this type of thing, and how you're talking, how like a lot of kids nowadays don't have like that view of being able to get to that next level.
Mm-hmm.
He works his ass off, which is really cool to see. But it's also one of those things where it's just like, how do we get kids to, because like clearly it's still like within us, I would say, like there's still that hard work, that dedication, that like non-weakness type of thing, but it's just like, how do we show that or demonstrate that or wake that up in somebody? Because clearly they're showing up for gymnastics. Like when I was doing gymnastics, like I'll be honest with you, I was a bitch. Like I just like, there's certain things that I want to do because I was afraid, because I didn't have the mental fortitude to do it. But like that taught me to like, all right, now whenever I go out and I do my runs, my bike rides, I lift my weights, like
You think of that and you say, I don't want that.
Exactly.
Yeah. But there's also like, think about it this way. If little Jimmy and little Nate are trying to do the same thing, they're trying to do circles, right? Jimmy will try his ass off, right? But he sucks. Nate doesn't really try, but he knows what he's doing. So Nate sees Jimmy do 3 circles in a row. He's like, oh shit, So now Nate's going to start working, even though he wasn't before, because he saw Jimmy do 3 circles. And he's like, well, now I want to do 3 circles. So like they had different motivations. Jimmy is motivated because he sucks and he wants to get better. Nate is motivated because Jimmy's getting better than him and he doesn't want to be better or worse than Jimmy. So now Nate's going to work his ass off. And like kids will literally do that. So like you have to literally read it and use that against them. So like I have one kid that like he wanted to be good. So he would be having problems with something and I'd just do it. And he'd be like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? He'd get so pissed, but they would get him so much energy and they're so riled up that he would start working harder and then he would get the skill faster. Just because I would be like, you can't do it and I can. And that would give him motivation. If I did that to most other kids, they'd be like, fuck you, I hate you, I'm leaving. You know what I mean? Like that's mean. But yeah, it's mean, but it gets you riled up, right? And I like that kind of stuff. I think it's fun. It's like psychology. Mm-hmm. You're just playing games with people's brains.
Yeah, exactly. That's why, like, I've been telling him too, and like that's why I study so much psychology, because it's like once you understand how your mind works, like once you understand how one mind works, it's pretty easy to understand how everybody else's mind works too.
It's easier to put yourself in their shoes.
True.
And not, I guess, put yourself in their brain. Think, what would this person think because of all the actions that I know of what he's done before and how he acts, you know what I mean? But yeah.
That's a good way of looking at it. Because yeah, I would be like, I did sales, as I was telling you earlier. Whenever I saw somebody that was doing better than me, I was like, all right, I need to go listen to this person. I need to figure out what they're doing. Like, how do I get to their level type of thing.
And that's motivation, yeah.
Exactly. Whereas other people...
There's 2 ways to go about that motivation, too. You could be like, oh, I hate this guy. Like, I want to be his enemy. Or you can be like, oh, I want this guy to be my friend so that I can be like him. You know what I mean? That's just how a person's brain works. That's not really taught or anything like that, I don't think.
No, I don't think so either. I've always been under the impression where, like, if somebody's doing better, I'm like, I want to be friends with that person. Like, because clearly they know something that I don't know.
That's your natural tendency, yeah, because you're trying to better yourself. But, like, other people will go this direct opposite. See someone doing better and be like, I hate him. I want to sabotage him.
Yep. That's what happened. That's why I left my company, was because somebody wanted to sabotage me because I was getting all buddy-buddy with the VP of sales, and she didn't like that. So she's like, and I know I know it was her because, like, on one of the team meetings, she's like, yeah, Karma came back and bit me in the ass. And I was like, yeah, it always does. Like, I don't know if you believe in the whole karmic like stuff, but it's just it's fascinating.
But I don't think it's direct.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of general. If you're generally an asshole, you're generally probably not going to have good things happen. You know what I mean? But that's not always the case, because you can generally be nice and shit cannot go right, and that's just life. You know what I mean?
Well, that's where, like, I'll challenge you on that, because it's like, what does not going right mean? Because like,
true, it depends on how you look at it.
Because like maybe you not going out to Alaska was because we were supposed to have this conversation instead, and like
now you're flipping the tables on me. Huh?
Yeah. That's what I do, man. Like, because it's just like we could be upset about the things that have happened, but it's just like, well, what if this had to happen in the ways that it need to? Like, you even getting lost in that town and like not finding your way around and being like, well, shit, like.
Right, I had a great time though.
Exactly.
I thought about a lot of shit.
That's what I'm saying. So that's why it's just like, is there really anything does anything bad ever really happen?
This is true. No. Just things that you don't like happen.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily bad. But I guess, like, if you get cancer, that's bad. Yes, you could still find the silver lining in that, but it is generally bad.
Yeah, well, like, let's use Andrew Tate for an example. Like, you can talk about Andrew Tate, like, he got canceled, but it's like, I mean, he's still doing well. Like, I mean, sure, like, well, subjective, depends on what you consider well.
That shit was pissing me off, the whole cancel thing.
Yeah, it's
like running away from your problems.
Exactly.
Instead of confronting them. And everybody was trying to do it.
Everybody still will continue to do it, too.
They'll probably still do it.
And that's why, like, I just kind of gave up on the whole, like, cancel culture thing. I'm like, if people want to cancel me, they'll cancel me, but then there's always going to be the true fans, the true followers, the true people that do believe in you.
The normal people.
The people that aren't, like, trying to cancel all of you, like, you'll be golden. I haven't heard much about it lately, so I don't know if it's still a thing at all or not.
I haven't either.
Okay.
So you said earlier, when you get high.
Yeah.
So what do you like to do?
I mean, so lately, I've been good. I've been good lately, but like, typically, so like, I've done mushrooms a couple of times. That's really fun.
Have you seen they have new edibles out?
No.
I've been fucking with those
really?
hard, yeah.
Like, is it the wild ones or which ones?
They're just like little gummies, and they have, I don't know what potency, but it says like 1 to 2 is like, or 1's like a micro dose, 2 to 4 is like a moderate dose, and then like all 10 of them is like a trip. Or something like that. And that's like how they're marketing it. And I saw it first when my friend Sage did that little condo thingy up in Glenwood. And he was like, yeah, bro, you didn't know head shops got mushrooms? And I was like, no. So we went and did it, and like, it was actually pretty cool. It's like, I can relate it like the buzz of nicotine to weed. The high of weed is like the buzz of mushrooms to actual mushrooms. So these gummies to like actual mushrooms.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it'll like just kind of like make your day a little better. Give you a little buzz, like make you a little vibey, you know what I mean? Like, it's nothing crazy. So I've been liking those things.
You're gonna have to send me those, because I haven't heard of those ones lately. Because like I just like, so maybe when I get high, I do it in a different way than most people do. It's like I'll take like two, like last time I took 3 or 4 10 milligram edibles.
Okay.
And I don't know, have you ever heard of Terrence McKenna at all?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're familiar with him, like talking about how it's just like you just like smoke once every couple of months or whatever it is,
Yeah.
like sit in a
As
dark
much as you
room.
can,
yeah,
yeah.
and just like sit in, like that's what I do. Like
Okay.
I just get super high like once or twice a year type of thing, maybe 4 times a year, and I just sit in a dark room like with a candle. Maybe I'll have some music on type of thing, and I just work through everything through my head. Because this is a question that I always like asking people. Do you think internally, like when you think, like is your mind always active, quiet? Do you have words going on, images
My
going
shit's
on?
always running. But
Okay, so like the only time my shit's running is when I take weed, or like I make myself think.
Yeah, because it gives you a little bit of anxiety, so it makes your brain kind of like worry about things, and then when you worry about things, you think about them.
Yep.
I live like that normally, so like
Oh.
I like to get high because it makes me focus better. So I don't have my brain running if I get high and play games. Then
Yeah.
I can focus on the game and I don't stress out. But if I just like get high and sit around, sometimes I go to the wrong spots, if you know what I mean.
I've been there before too. You go down these dark rabbit holes, whatever.
I
it
just
may
get
be.
depressed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I get sad and I don't know why. Like, I'm happy with my life, but I know I could be doing better. And I think that's what gets to me when I get too high and think too much. Or like I think about, I could have done this, I could have done that, and yeah.
Yeah.
So I'd rather have something I can focus on. So if I'm like snowboarding,
Oh, dude.
get real high.
Oh, it's so much fun.
Hiking, get real high. Like just doing something. I like to get high. I like to get high and do things so
Yep.
that I can make my brain stop. Or I went through a little phase where I'd just get real super drunk and then fall asleep and have great sleep about nothing and just blank out. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But I stopped doing that because that's not good.
That's good. I mean, at least you came to acknowledgement that like it's not good. And I'll ask you too. It's the same question that I ask him too. It's just like, well, what is better? Because I've been asking myself too. Is like, why do we always want to be better? Like, what is better
true.
really? Type of
guess
thing.
That's a personal question
Yeah.
to each person.
Yep.
And I'm not living up to what I expected. So, but you're never going to live up to what you expect. So why even get mad about it? You know what I mean?
Well, how come?
It's like saying, I should have been flying by now.
Yeah.
I thought I'd have figured it out by now. You know what I mean?
Do you feel like you fall behind in certain regards, and like you can't catch up to
No.
that next place? No.
Mm-mm. I don't know how to explain it. It's like I'm happy where I'm at, but I know I could be somewhere else. So just the fact that that is a thing is going to affect me because I'm gonna think about it.
Yeah.
And if I do think about it, it's gonna make me sad because I can't change that because it's already happened. You know what I mean?
But
I can make it better, but I didn't do good. You know what I mean? Like it's already done. I can't change that.
Yeah. You can't change that, but you can change.
Yes, exactly.
What's next?
So it's like there's not really a reason to look back there, but I do.
Yeah, as everybody does.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the whole gymnastics thing. Like, I knew that I never wanted to be that weak dude that gave up too early, so I can make sure that I
Right.
never go
Now
back to
you
that
can
same
do
place.
that. Yeah.
It's the same thing can happen for you as well too, dude. Because yeah, the whole like I enjoy smoking. Don't get me wrong. Like I love it. Like I'll go on a run. Like I'll take a hit or whatever, and I'll just run for miles. Nothing else in the world matters to me, and I'm just like
Right.
I'm sprinting.
Just zone out.
But I've also been able to like catch myself because there'd be times where like I would go back to my old way of thinking, and like I'd go down these like little spirals and these rabbit holes types of things.
But if you catch it, you can fix it.
Exactly.
Yeah, you can stop it.
Yep. Because like there would be times when I'd smoke and like I'd have other people's thoughts in my head. And I'm like, this
Yeah.
isn't.
Why am I thinking?
Yeah. I'm
about
like,
that?
what is this? So like there was a point where I was just like, I just had to flip it off. I was just like, fuck you guys. Like whatever you want. Like you live your life, I'll live mine, and whatever happens after that.
I actually
like,
did
it
that the
happens.
other week. It was actually really weird. So I decided I was going to try to do, there's another one of the mushroom thingies, but it's only 4 instead of 10.
Mm-hmm.
And they say if you do 4, you have a spiritual experience. So I was going to try it out.
Yeah.
So I did it. It was like the same kind of feeling as the other stuff, just way more intense. And I like started kind of freaking out a little bit. So I was like, all right, I'm going to lay down. I laid down, eased my brain, you know what I mean? Started thinking like, just wanted to go to sleep and relax. And then like I felt like the pressure in my chest, and then I was like, and it all just went gone. And
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck? Like, I thought my trip just went away, but like it was just me accepting and letting everything out, you know what I mean? And I could literally feel it. Like, it was like, phew, and then I was like, whoa, like I'm a new person. It was really weird.
It's a good feeling, isn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
Yeah. Which I don't know if you're on the spiritual path at all or not, but it's just like
I'm spiritual, but I don't know what to believe in, you know what I mean? There's something there, but I don't know what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I can feel it. Like, you can feel it between people. You can feel like spiritual connection to certain people, you know what I mean? Like, I do or don't vibe with that person, and I don't know why.
Yep.
And I think that's what the spirituality that I believe in is.
I could see that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I could see
And there
that.
has to be a reason for that, so that would have to go somewhere else. You know what I mean?
Because does it go this way or does it go that? Like, where does it go to? Because it's just like,
Any way you point, you're going to the same place.
that is true. That is true.
It's going somewhere, though.
Right? Because like, so I've been doing a lot more spiritual stuff lately and just been experimenting. I don't know if you've ever heard of like this guy called Neville Goddard or like Florence Scovel. They take like a different approach to like spirituality. And then there's also this guy that I've been watching on YouTube as well, Dr. K, Healthy Gamer GG.
Okay.
Listen to his stuff, and he's much more on the spiritual path. He used the term where it's a sadhuk, I believe. So it's like you're not a full like monk spiritual practicer, but like you do believe in like the spiritual practice and you do spiritual things like meditation or like just self-inquiry type of thing. And I was like, okay, I kind of like that mentality a lot more. It's just the way that they've kind of explained the world and my approach and view and understand of it is it's just like everything's more within our own head and we're the ones that could dictate our own reality, even though like yes there is still like an outside world.
I guess that's the way I was raised, because that's how my mom thinks. She would always tell you, your brain's a powerful weapon. If you think about it, you'll think it into existence. And then I lived by that, you know what I mean? So like now that's like ingrained in my brain.
My dad did the same thing. He would always tell me he'd drive around certain neighborhoods and like go to different places, and he'd be like, yeah, like one day I'll have this house. And it's like a couple years later he had that house, or I want this car. A couple years later he had that car. Same thing with you and the Globetrotters.
Or I would be, yeah, exactly. Or I'd be complaining to my mom like, oh, I'm really nervous about this meet tomorrow. Like I want to do really good. Like I think I'm going to mess up. And she'd be like, well, why are you thinking about messing up? Like start thinking about winning the meet. And like I'd be like, oh, you're right. You know what I mean? Like, well, why stress?
Exactly.
You might as well like make yourself feel good about it before you go into it.
Yeah, and it's like I think that's why a lot of relationships and other things fails, because everybody like they think in their head that their spouse or their partner or their friend is doing these bad things, and then that just starts to reflect them on the outside.
Right.
Because I remember your mom was like, she always had like the bracelets and everything like that, and
fucking
like
healing rocks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true, dude. Like, I mean, it goes deeper than I think we care to consider. But it's like some people will be like, oh, it's hokey dokey type of thing. But it's like,
I'm one of those people, even though my mom raised me that way. I'm like, yeah, these fucking rocks are gonna make my ankle feel better. What the fuck ever. I'm gonna do PT. You know what I mean?
and she's probably like, it's because you don't believe in it.
Exactly. Yeah.
If you believe,
You're
like
not
it would.
accepting the energy.
It's
Like,
true,
whatever,
bro.
mom.
Like,
Okay.
dude, it's all energy. That's why, like,
I get it. It's hard for me to run with it.
yeah. Any reason in particular why it's hard for you to run with it?
I just I can't see anything actually happening. It doesn't protrude itself into my world. You know what I mean?
Is it because you're looking for something exact? Like, are you looking for?
I like to see like results.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, if I'm upset and I get high and think the right way, and I'm not upset after, I can see results.
Mm-hmm.
I changed something. You know what I mean? I would put the bracelet on, and then do my stuff, and like I guess I wouldn't really believe it, but it would be there, and it would still hurt. So I'd be like, "This is fake." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
One thing I do kind of believe in though is grounding, where they say like you're supposed to be in like physical contact with your skin to the earth for a certain amount of time each year or something like that. I feel like that could have some real things, because like we came from the earth and we're slowly moving away from it. So it has to be like messing with us in some way.
Yeah. I could see that.
I don't know.
Because
how to explain that.
no, I because so it's funny that you say that, because I started walking around, because I've heard that I started walking around without my shoes on for a little while, like just on like normal walks, it was on the concrete and everything like that, and I felt better afterwards. Like it was weird. Like it felt like I was more connected to something that I wasn't connected to beforehand.
Like there has to be some kind of transfer of energy.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
I just don't know what it is.
I don't either, and I don't think we ever will necessarily. But like that's why I think like you and I vibe and him and I vibe. It's just like the energies are right in the right areas type of thing.
They're all trying to go the same way.
Mm-hmm. Because like I don't think we could have had this conversation 4 years ago type of thing. Like I just don't think we were in that spot.
I've been way more open with people.
Mm-hmm.
I would real quick cut people out when I was young. Oh, you made me feel uncomfortable? Peace, nigga.
We'll see, never.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
And I was the one with the car, so everybody would come to me, and I would kind of like select who I hang out with, you know what I mean, because I had the car.
Mm-hmm.
So that was what I would do. Like, yeah, you're not hanging out with us because I don't really like you.
Yep.
Just because you took my Lunchable and didn't give it back when you said you would.
I was always under the impression, I'm like, if I just don't vibe with somebody, or like I just didn't know how to talk. I just didn't know how to share the things that were on my mind.
I didn't know how to express myself well either.
Yeah. And I always was like, well, if they, like, I've come to realize I can't determine what somebody thinks afterwards. Like, but I can at least do my input, and I can give as much as I can right now.
Right.
And if they walk away and it's like, okay, that was a good conversation, it's like, okay, cool. Or if they're like, Caleb's a dick, it's like, okay, cool. Like, I can't.
Another thing
that
that weighed really heavy on me, since I was so into gymnastics and it was like my life, was like everybody said it was gay.
Oh, dude, bro. Right?
I would not talk to people because of that. I wouldn't tumble because of that.
Yep.
I knew it was cool, but I would have that one or two people that's like, oh, look at the cheerleader faggot.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And then I'd want to beat their ass. So I'd be like, I'm not going to do that.
See, and I got conditioned to think that I was a homosexual for the longest time.
Really?
And I was like, but I'm over here sleeping with women and talking with women. I'm like, I have no attraction.
Right, but everybody
to
calls
man.
you gay because you do gymnastics.
Yep. Or because I did a marching band or something like that. And I'm just like...
Yeah, marching band's a big one too.
You're gay because you had more bitches than
They're jealous.
Exactly. Well, I think it was... I've come to realize, I'm like, it's just a insecurity that somebody else has within themselves, and they're just trying to project it onto you type of thing.
They're jealous, and the only way that they can make themselves feel better about not being able to do it is if the people that can do it are stupid.
Yep. And they make them feel bad because, yeah, dude, that's part of the reason. Like, I did diving too. Like, I did diving, gymnastics, and marching band. All the three sports that are the gayest like sports that you can do.
Yeah,
and I'm just
soccer's
like,
up there though.
Soccer's. That is true. But like football was never one of those. Golf was never one of those.
Sport.
Exactly. But it's just like, dude, gymnastics, diving is so much harder. Like, I would say harder because it's like more of a battle against self. Like, you don't have other people that are coming in to help you. Like, yeah, you do. You have your coaches and you have
it's
your
a lot
other people.
more mental.
Exactly.
It's you against the world.
Yep.
You don't have anybody to help you.
And that's why I've struggled with relationships, because it was always me against the world. Whereas now I'm like, why not build a team? Why not build other people that want to also grow and have the same mindset type of thing?
Yeah, and I got held back with that kind of mindset because, like, I met a bunch of dudes that were real cool. They all tumbled. We worked together. Like, everything was cool. So I was like, yeah, come out to my place. Like, stay at my parents' place. Let's get a place together.
Yeah.
So we did that, and both of them ended up fucking me over.
Really?
And, like hard. One of them, he owed us $1,400 on rent still, and left a note on the table with $300 or $400 saying, I'm going back home. Here's my rent.
What?
And I was splitting my room with him because I was like not very financially stable at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So I ended up having to pay $860 a month instead of $500. And I was eating eggs and ramen for like 4 months. And then after that, I was like, move back home. I know I can trust them at least, you know what I mean? Like, I'll have a place to stay without being like worried about getting kicked out or evicted and then not having a place to go and living in my car.
Yep.
So yeah, I didn't like that.
No, I get that, dude. One of his best friends, he's in a similar situation, and I like, since I left my job, like, but I know how to sell, so like I have no problem. Like, if I don't have enough money to cover rent or whatever, I'll go
find
sell
some stuff.
Yeah, I'll go do something, or just have conversations, wait for this to pick off, and then like help you be like, hey, dude, like here's a little kickback or whatever it may be, type of thing.
Right.
But it's just like, because I love my parents to death, man, but they, like, I just can't live with them anymore. Like,
I feel you.
It's just...
Sometimes you can, sometimes you can't.
Yeah. I'm like, they just don't see the world in the same way that I do, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like, how you were talking earlier, where it's just like, you only want to, not only, but it's like you want to make X amount of money just so that you can have, like, just so you can tumble and, like, do the work that you want to do.
Right.
I'm over here, I'm like, we live in an abundant world. Why not have more money?
As you can.
Exactly, man. Like, why put limits on myself? And it ties back to your mom too. Like, why put limits on yourself?
Yeah, it's a good mindset.
Yeah, dude. So it's just like, if I have to go back, like, I'll live in my car before I have to go back. But I know that will never come to that type of thing.
Right.
But yeah, it's funny how other people will fuck us over, and then once they fuck us over, it's harder for us to trust that person again.
No, any person. Like,
exactly.
It's just being in that situation again. of something you know you can't control.
Mm-hmm. And that's the hardest part because you can't control everybody else, but you want to try to control everybody else.
And your living situation's like the biggest thing in the world that you want to control.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really annoying to go in with some random people that you don't trust.
Right? Because are you at home right now then?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. I just, like, I like living by myself. Like, that's where I thrive the most.
I mean, I got the basement to myself, so
Mhm.
if I close my door in the basement, nobody's coming down there, you know what I mean?
That's good, man. Do you have a kitchen down there and everything like that then, or is it just...
A sink, yeah.
Okay.
A microwave, a fridge.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
And I get the whole, like, eating ramen and eggs. Like, that's, dude, that's all, like, I've been eating peanut butter and jelly or peanut butter and crackers, like, for the past month or so.
Right.
I'm
It's
doing
a good
it.
snack.
So, right? I'm down about 14 pounds. I was up at 180, and I was like...
Bro, I cannot gain weight for the life of me. I'm so pissed because I have a fast metabolism and
Yeah.
I'm very active.
Yep.
So I don't have enough time in the day to eat enough to gain pounds. So I'll stay at like 150, 155, and then I'll like start eating as much as I can, get to like 160, and then the weekend will go by, I'll be back to 155.
Yep.
And I'm like, I hate this. And I'm working out, I'm lifting heavy, like I'm like trying to build muscle, and it's just like, no, bruh, you don't eat enough.
Do you do any shakes or anything like that?
I'd like to do muscle milk.
Okay.
I'll buy like the 12 pack and have one a day
Yeah.
if I'm working out.
There's protein shakes that are literally 2,000 calories. If you can
Really?
find one of those and drink like 2 a day, it should be.
Maybe I should do that then.
Yeah, just don't have too much protein in them or
Yeah,
something
yeah.
like that because your body can only just like intake X
I'll be
amount of
farting
protein.
like crazy.
Yeah.
It's specifically made for bulking. for
Okay.
Fast metabolism people. My friend with a fast metabolism, he took them for 2.5 months, gained like 20 pounds of muscle.
What the fuck? Okay, I don't want that much because I still need to be able to tumble.
that was why I stopped. That's why I cut down on my weight because I do hot yoga and
Okay.
like running, and I'm just like I can't be like.
Yo, I
big.
did a yoga session on the side of a beach. Like, it went drop down and then like to the ocean, and it was amazing.
Where was that at?
Cali.
Cali.
And then the fucking instructor, like, since I'm like look like I'm fit and active, he thought I'd be good, and I sucked ass, and he kept making fun of me all day. And he recorded it. I was like, fuck you guys.
Dude, that's the best part because like I look at it as like, okay, I got recorded. Okay, let me watch that video back. Okay, I see where I fucked up. Let me improve upon that so I
Bro,
can do better
I do
next
that
time.
like crazy with videos, like my tumbling. I'll sit there for like 35 minutes watching a video over and over and over. Like, why did this happen? What is happening here? What can I do to make this? Like, I want to get this to 4. What? Like, I'll do that for hours.
That's how I was able to get good at communicating and just like understanding myself because I'd record myself and then I'd watch myself back and be like, okay, I was blinking too much. I was talking too fast here or whatever it may be.
Okay,
And I'd analyze
definitely
myself
never done that, yeah.
more than I would ever analyze anybody else. Even though when I was out in public, I would see other people like say they were crossing their arms or something like that, or they had their hands clasped this way, or like they were doing whatever it was.
And that's
They looked in a
projecting
certain way.
something. Yeah.
So then I'd go back and I'd look up that said thing and I'd be like, okay, this is probably what it is. It's just with body language and like micro expressions, it's a little bit different because you can't, like, it's not a blanket for everybody. Like, you have to be with somebody
Right.
for a little bit first to kind of pick up on their
Understand that,
tells type
yeah.
of a thing. But once you understand like just the basics of it, it's a lot easier to be able to be like, okay, this is where we can take this and where we can
Like
take
me and
that.
Trevor the other day were talking that we have no idea how to not be awkward with eye contact. Like, what's the amount of time you can look at someone in the eyes talking to them and then it's like weird.
Oh. I'll stare the whole fucking time, dude. Like, I got no problem
I'm good
doing
at
that.
it, but like,
Person I know that just stares.
He stares
at
deep.
someone for like a minute straight, and then you gotta start looking away. Like,
right, yeah, that's what I do. Like, cause I'll like lock eyes with somebody and talk, and then eyes get awkward, and I'll like look away when I'm talking. You know what I mean? I do it with my boss a lot, cause he's like one of those people that's like, yeah, okay, I get it, and I'm like, bro, why are you on me right now?
Yeah, it's typically like when I start talking, that's when I look away because I'm trying to put the thoughts together.
Right.
Or if somebody's talking to me and then I'm like, okay.
I feel
all
like
right,
if,
looked
yeah,
that
I
up.
feel like if somebody is talking to you, it's respectful for eye contact.
Yep.
And when you're talking, I guess it's just in my brain weird to be thinking and looking in someone's eyes. I'd rather be looking away and thinking, and then go back to that person. You know what I mean?
Yeah, everybody has a different, because the guy that I was lifting with the other day, he's very intense like I am as well too, and I love the guy to death. He's one of those guys where we just look at each other in the eyes and like we won't
The whole
blink or
time?
walk away type of thing. But I also think it builds like some conviction as well too, because it's like, okay, I know what I'm talking about right here, so I'm not having to like.
Well, you can tell if someone's lying when you're looking in their eyes.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like that's what they always say, and that's why the eye contact is a thing, because like it's a deeper meaning when you're actually looking at someone.
Exactly. I like it a lot more because like on the phones, like you can, it's more personal. Like when you are face to face type of thing. Really?
Yeah, I hate it.
Any reason in particular?
I don't know why. I just don't like it. I'll stop talking and then just be like, all right, well, bye. You know what I mean? Like I got nothing else to say. My grandpa was like that too.
Really?
You try to get him on the phone, he'll talk to you for like 30 seconds.
Oh.
And be like, well, it's nice talking to you.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude, see, I'm the complete opposite where I have to come out, like whenever we talk, I'm like, it's like I can tell that the conversation's coming to an end, and I'm like, yeah, let's bring this back.
Oop it back up.
Yeah. Because I like to think that I'm pretty good at being able to maintain conversations and like keep them flowing in the directions that we need to have them going. It can be tough sometimes because it's one of those things where it's like, okay, do we call it here or do we keep going? Because it's like there's tons more that we can talk about.
Oh, of course.
But it's just like,
forever.
where do you want to stop it? And like, what are those times? But like, that's why I liked analyzing myself and listening to myself, was because I got to have that understanding of like, okay, this is what I'm talking about. These are the areas that I'm struggling with. Like, how can I improve upon those areas? But not everybody, I used to believe that everybody did do what I did.
Right.
And it's just like, no. Most people, they go home, they play video games, they watch TV shows. Nothing wrong with that. Like, I do that now. Like, I do an anime YouTube, like, movie TV channel on YouTube as well too.
Nice.
Where, like, I bring in like these aspects that we talk about, like, but apply them to like a TV show or a movie or something like that.
Yeah.
And I like that dynamic because it's hopefully gonna help like my younger self that was only ever watching like movies, TV shows, like didn't know how to socialize.
How to
my younger
integrate
self
that into your real life.
Exactly.
Okay, I do that naturally. Like that's why I like anime so much. Like I get those goosebumps all the time. You know what I mean? Like if I actually feel or understand like the emotion they're trying to project. Like I cried at an anime and I don't even want to. I'm like, bro, like why am I crying right now?
Right.
You know, it just is like I understand what they're projecting and I like what they're projecting, so it like rides with me, I guess.
Yep. Yeah, we were maybe this will make sense, maybe not, and if not, that's perfectly okay. Have you ever heard the saying like the screen doesn't know the movie?
No.
So it's kind of relates to our consciousness. So like what we're doing right now, like we are essentially the screen from my understanding of it.
Right.
But like what's happening is the movie that's taking place on the screen. So the screen
And there's a
doesn't know the
different
movie.
purpose than us just sitting.
Correct. Yeah.
I get
because
that.
it's just a deeper focus type of thing, and that's why like when I go to movies, like I went and saw Wonka the other night.
Oh, was it good?
Yeah, I liked it. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
I was skeptical.
Yeah. Did you see it too?
No,
No?
I haven't seen it. I
Okay.
just saw the previews and I was like, it looks weird.
Yeah, that's fair. I looked at it more as like he has a dream and I have a dream, so I'm like it's kind of like bringing that into
You're
my
more
reality.
open to it when you went in? Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'll probably be open if I go see it, but
Yeah.
I'm bad at movies.
So like the Alamo, they have like a $20 like thing that you can do like each
my
month.
ex had that.
Dude,
You can go see as many movies as you want.
I love it, man. And then you get the food, you get it.
And you get like 2
fantastic.
buddy passes or something a month too?
Yeah, I don't even know about the buddy passes. I think they might have, but I don't know if
I
they
think it's
still
like
do or
50%
not.
off that I
Okay.
would get. So she would get her ticket for free and I'd get 50% ticket.
Yeah, I mean to change mine then possibly because I had to pay for the girls that I brought. I had to pay for her ticket in full, which was weird. But like when we were seeing the movie, she has a twin and so, like she has
weird.
It's her. She has 2 kids and then her twin and she has 2 kids. And the crazy part about this dude, so like the girl that I'm talking to, she has 2 girls. And then her twin sister has 2 boys.
That is the weirdest thing.
So it's really cool. They're both divorced.
Do you think that's
and
like
separated.
actually a reason behind that, or was it just coincidence? Like maybe since they're twins, like she got that half of the genes, so like she only produces boys and she only produces girls. That'd be the weirdest thing.
But I mean, if women were the one that dictated the gender, then yeah, by all
Right.
means. But since the man's the one that does dictate the gender, then
But
that
what if
wouldn't
like
work.
it got mixed up or something? I don't know, because twins are weird. They have a lot of weird shit that happens. Like
Yeah.
they were saying, like 2 twins, if they lived on separate parts of the world, they would still have similar personalities.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah, I love the whole nature.
His brain just got. He said.
Mine is already strained right now. And that's just like make me dry as crap.
Isn't that crazy though? Like, but it would make
I'm
sense
not gonna think about that.
because they're 2 brains that were made from the same chemicals.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, they're gonna have different experiences, but they're gonna deal with those experiences the same way, right?
I would say so. like in a sense, because like so I was talking when she first introduced herself to me, I was talking to her. I was like, because she's married and like she's doing her own thing and has like her own kids and like her twin does, and I was like, is it weird that like your twin's married and like you aren't? And she's like, it's really weird that you brought that up because we were literally just talking about that the other day, and I was like, it's not as weird as you think it is. Like, you think it's weird right now, but it's really not that weird. I blew his mind with this a couple weeks ago as well, too.
Yeah.
Like, we were filming on Metro, and I was like, talking with this girl, and she's like, if you have Muslims and Christians and they come together and, like, maybe you just understand both religions, and I show him that clip later, and he's like, bro, that's the exact same thing that happened to us that day. And I was like, So it's just, like, I like doing those things because it's really fun and fascinating to me to be able to have those things happen.
That's interesting.
But, yeah, dude, it's cool to see just like how like because it very well could be like she could have had to have the boys and she could have had to have the girls so that then they could both like be like buddies or friends or whatever it may be. But back to the whole Wonka thing, it was just like when I went there, I was watching the movie and I got into like the presentation of the character itself of like Wonka,
like how they're depicting him.
And I feel like when I watch movies and I go, this is why I love movies, because like when I go and I bring myself into their role. Like I feel the things that they feel.
Like what would I do in his shoes? Yeah.
And then when we were watching the movie at the end of it, there's a part where like it gets like a little emotional and like he like comes to this realization, this epiphany. And the girl I'm with, she looks over at me and I'm just like crying right next to me type of thing.
Right, because you like understood it.
Yeah. And like we after the movie, her sister asked, she's like, did you cry at that? And I was like, yeah. Did you not? She's like, no. I was like, how come? Like, that was so, like...
She just wasn't into it, I guess. She wasn't invested.
Yeah, dude, I've been, like, The Creator. I don't know if you've seen that movie at all or not. That one's really good as well. It's all based off of, like, AI and how, like, they want to be human and everything like that.
That's sketch.
Like,
I need to watch, Stranger Things, yeah.
Stranger Things.
All the Stranger Things, because I heard that it was Black Mirror.
Black Mirror, I've heard that one,
They were
too.
doing, like, things that could happen, you know what I mean? And how, like, a lot of them have happened.
Yeah.
And that's sketch.
Well, think about The Simpsons. Simpsons predicted,
That's true, too. Yeah, that's hilarious, bro.
Trump back in the day, like...
That is hilarious. They've done it, like, a lot, too. They did it, like, 9/11. I think they did, like, something before.
Do you know other ones that they've done? So they've done 9/11.
Yeah.
What other one? I don't know what other ones
what
they've
other
done.
ones?
And there was Trump.
There's Trump, yeah. I think there was one with Obama, too. But, yeah, they'll just, like, say some random crazy bullshit, and then it'll fucking happen. And I'm like...
So...
It sounds like a math equation or something that was unsolved yet.
I wouldn't put it past him. I wouldn't put it past him, bro.
So, do you think it's, and this is something that you might not have an answer because I don't have an answer to it. Do you think that those seeds are getting planted in the other people's minds, or do you think that they saw into the future and then they made that happen?
I literally feel like it's that if you speak it, you speak it into existence. Like I feel like that's literally what it is.
I'd have to agree with you there. Like
there's no other way.
I'd agree with you on that, dude. Because it's like, that's why when I look back.
Know the future unless we're in a simulation.
Well, are we?
I don't know.
I'm happy to go down that route right now, bro. Because like, I genuinely thought that we were. I mean, I still do, like in a sense.
It makes sense.
Because like, so right before I quit my job, I ended up going up to this mountain, and I'll show you the photo.
Okay.
So I ended up going up to this the mountain up in Breckenridge because like, I was done with my work and everything like that. And I run into these girls on the top of the mountain. Okay. And I talk with them and I chat with them and everything like that. And like I was talking with this couple down before, like at this, like they had like a little van and everything like that, and it was like a mom and a dad type of thing. And I was just chatting with them. They were saying things where it's like, yeah, dad was cool, like proud of his son for doing videography stuff, and his mom was like, I don't get it, but like I'm glad that he's happy type of thing. Right. And it was like me talking with my own parents. It's weird, it might not make sense, but it is what it is. So like I end up walking back up the hill, and the girls were like, hey, it's a YouTuber. And I was like, what do you mean? I'm like, I didn't even say anything like that.
That's cool though.
They probably didn't even see the GoPro or anything, and I like flip out a little bit. But then I'm sitting there and I'm talking with them for a little bit, and they're like, yeah, he like, we get on the topic of like Starlink, and I was like, have you guys ever seen it?
That shit's sweet.
A couple minutes later, it's like it flies over the sky. We see Starlink right there. And then a little bit later, we start talking about like aliens, and it's like, yeah, I saw an alien like when I was doing yoga the other day. Like she just had an alien tattoo, and I was like, okay, like it's a brand type of thing. Yeah. But yeah, dude, it's just like, and they brought up the whole like simulation topic, and like I was just like, maybe we are, maybe we aren't. Like,
bro, there's no way to tell.
No, only because like I can't. Like after this, dude, like you could walk away, Vulcan can walk away, like I can walk away with three completely different experiences.
The thing that fucked me up is the Neuralink thing. Mm-hmm. He can control the technology with brain waves. So like, technically we're machines.
Mm-hmm.
We're meat machines.
But like, so I don't know much about Neuralink. I don't know if you have more insight into Neuralink at all.
I just know that it's a chip, and they put some kind of chip in the brain and the part of the body that they want to move, and they Bluetooth it to send the electronic waves to that thing to control it.
Okay. So
Yeah.
So it's not necessarily dipping into consciousness itself.
No.
Okay,
It
that was
is
what I was
just
about to say.
electronic brainwaves.
Yeah,
through Bluetooth.
starting neurons to get the brain. Okay.
To make whatever you were trying to make fire. It was a dude that was paralyzed from the waist down. They put the little chip on his spine, and then he can send the waves to his legs now.
Okay.
Isn't that crazy though?
Yeah. That's dude. That's why I love the future. I'm like, because eventually we'll get to the point to where cars, like, there's never traffic anymore either, too. Which that's
Right.
something that's always fascinating.
Or there's
to me.
not a reason to go anywhere because you can just fucking do it with your brain.
You already can do that right
Someone
now.
else sends that signal to your limbs. Like, on, like, all your main body.
To hack your chip.
Someone else
You're walking like fighting yourself. That'd suck ass.
Oh, that'd be.
Bro, my body just got hijacked. Who do I call?
Maybe we should invest in cybersecurity because that thing's gonna need like the best firewall ever, or else someone's just gonna be like,
You'd be fucked.
Yeah.
they start playing you like a
Like a game.
video game.
What if we already are being played like a video game and we just don't know it?
Like in Rick and Morty. What's that game?
Oh,
Jeff or something like that?
Is it Jeff?
I forget the name, but it's just a normal life, and then you die and you wake up like, what the?
I mean, what if that, like, when I took mushrooms the last time, we ended up coming back and we watched Rick and Morty. And there's this episode that we were watching. I don't know if you know which one it is, but it's like when they're in that video game. And Morty is like everybody in the world type of thing.
Yeah.
And then he's like, I'm Morty. And it's like, I'm a little boy, like I'm Morty. And everybody's like, no, you're not Morty. And then everybody starts to come along and come in to
Right.
be him. And when I was on the mushrooms, dude, I was watching that. I was like, what if that's how the world is? Like, what if we are all just the same person, but we're all just having our own individual experiences, but we are all living under the same umbrella of us being the exact same person?
That'd be really weird.
And I've been talking with this dude out in Germany.
Like we're all different emotions of one person.
Like,
You didn't come from two people. You might just be them.
yeah. Well, it's like you were saying earlier too. It's a matter of we whatever word, like one word works very well for you, whereas one word works very well for him.
Right.
One word works very well for me.
Yeah.
But it's all the same. Like
Right.
that's why we have all these
It's all the
different
same
religions and like words and like businesses and customs. It's all the same, just in different mediums.
We're getting pretty philosophical.
This is the shit that I love, dude. Like if you don't want to
It's
go down the
fun. No,
philosophical route, we
I
don't
like
have
it.
to.
I
But
like it. I like to think. You know, I think because my brain is always thinking, I'm like used to it. So if I don't have something to think about, I get bored. So the more things that I could think about, the better, I'm thinking.
yeah, I like going because I don't like the surface level shit, dude. Like it doesn't go anywhere. I'd rather have like deep, meaningful conversations, even if they don't go anywhere like consciously, subconsciously, there is going to be something that did get planted in your mind, and you probably will think about this a little bit later. And we very well have maybe lost people as well too. Like some people will be like, all right, I have no idea what he's talking about.
Right.
But it is one of those things where it's just like subconsciously, if you do want to learn about it, like you can learn about it type of thing.
I actually think, like, since I like multitask, I do the podcast while I'm talking to people, while I'm thinking about what I need to do and like checking things in, you know what I mean? I think that literally is making me better at conversation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, because I know how to think of it, like stay on topics better and not like, oh my gosh, I'm supposed to go get dog food. You know what I mean? Like, because I'll do that kind of shit and then I stop thinking about what I was thinking about.
Yeah.
But I've been a lot better at staying on one track of conversations. And I think it's just because I've been listening to so many conversations.
Yep.
It's weird.
It is weird because it kind of ties back to how your mind worked earlier, how you were saying like you jump from this idea to this idea and how your mind's always active.
Right.
That's how I'm like, since my mind's not always active, I can typically stay on one
subject.
but I
It
will.
used to be so hard for me to like actually have like a deep conversation because I would just jump all over the place.
I don't think that's a bad thing though, per se.
No. It's just I have a very active mind. It can be annoying, but you just have to do a little bit more work to keep it upkept.
Yeah, which I don't. But like, it's also a matter of getting around the right people.
True.
Because like, there's some people that they'll be like, "What the like?" Okay, he's here now. He's here now.
Right,
He's here,
like,
now,
this
he's here
guy's
type of
weird.
thing.
Yeah.
But it's like if you find the right people, and there's other people that know how to communicate and have those conversations.
Or
and
know how to corral you back to the same subject over and over until you understand how to stay on that subject. Yeah.
Yeah, or even just have the fun joy of just pivoting and going different directions, because
True.
there is always
Have a little sidetrack.
yeah, I mean, why not? Like, I
Yeah.
mean, it's just like a little detour in life type of thing.
I think I don't like doing that because I'm very bad at remembering when I want to go back to what I was thinking about, and I'd rather just know what I'm talking about.
I mean, you've been good, dude. Like, I mean, I haven't had one time, I don't know how you felt about this whole thing, but
We've
I'm
been
like,
flowing pretty good.
yeah, I'm like, I haven't felt off topic or anything like that. Like,
Yeah.
there are times where like I get a little lost. Like, I got a little lost with like the Wonka thing for a second, but it
Yeah.
always like it comes back.
Right.
It's just sometimes it takes a little bit of time, but
Yeah.
it always comes back.
You'll find the trail again.
Exactly. There's always that common thread type of thing, which is exciting, man.
Not gonna lie though, I'm getting cold and I
Yeah,
have to
dude.
pee.
It's all good. I saw you looking over there, so I was like, we're perfect. We just did about 2 hours, so that's awesome, man.
Sweet, dang, okay,
Yeah.
damn. Yeah, that does go by fast.
Yeah.
Because that's what they always say on the Joe Rogan thing. They're like, oh, those 3 hours, this is a time warp. And I'm like, yeah, that didn't feel like 2 hours.
No, like once you have a good conversation and you feel it, it's just like, it's pretty easy and simple to like keep things going.
I think that's why I listen to it at work.
Mhm.
I think that's why it makes time go by faster.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
you're listening
That's
to it all
why
the
I
time.
like it. Yeah, it's like it makes me feel easier to do it.
Yeah, which, dude, like, it's all about, because like most people from what I've come to see is they don't like sitting down in one specific place for a very extended period of time because they aren't comfortable with like themselves and their thoughts and their ideas. And
Right, they don't want the wrong thing to come out. Yeah.
Or they
Yeah.
just don't want to sit alone because like they don't know what's going to pop up, or they don't like, they'd rather be distracted. Plus, like, it ties back to where we were talking about how like there's all this social media stuff that's going on nowadays where it's just like, you need to think this or you need to think that type of thing. Like, we aren't thinking for ourselves because we were never taught how to think for ourselves.
Right.
It's the same thing like with content and just like overall being, is once you start to understand and bring that awareness inside and be like, okay, like this is more internally,
Right.
it's a whole lot easier to be able to have those types of like conversations and thoughts and
Makes sense.
ideas.
Forgot about this guy.
It's all good, dude. Appreciate you chatting with me, man.
Yeah, no
like,
problem.
we can always do another, like we can always just catch up too without doing a podcast too. I'm happy to do that with you as well too.
I would rather like actually hang out and not talk on the phone. I hate the phone talk.
Yeah, no, that's where I'm at too. Like, I mean, as long as you're down, like,
Even Fridays.
yeah, I can do that. What time on Fridays?
8:30 to 10:30.
30 to 10:30. Okay. I didn't know about it, so how the fuck
no,
can I give it up? Like, what the fuck, bro?
Talking shit.
That's dude. That's what I love. I'm like, once you like ideas come into our reality, it's like, okay, now that I know that this is here, it's like,
now we can do something.
all right. But up until that point, nothing can be done, which is
Okay.
kind of sad.
But yeah, that's like another